Hello, hi, welcome back everybody to the Dog Cooking Show. If you're watching this live, it is currently Friday. It is 5:03 p.m. EDT. We had a bit of a delayed start. My apologies for that. We just had a couple of things to take care of really quickly. So I'm really sorry about that. It's good to see all of you. Hello to my lovely little sous chefs. Hello to Tarina Chess. Hello to 26 Stacks. Hello to Scribblo. Hello to Hoken. Hello to Jack. Hello to Dosky. Welcome on in. It's good to have all of you. Did I forget to turn on my AC again? I think I did. I like having this place be nice and cool whenever I begin. Also, thank you to Stupid Blobfish. Oh no, not Stupid Blobfish. To Huda Supremacy for the Prime sub. Thank you. Okay, hello. It's good to have all of you. I hope you're all having a really beautiful day today. If you're watching this live, it is Friday. It is April 12th. And it's good to have all of you. Everybody, today we're going to be doing some Korean food. And I'm pretty excited about it because I haven't had a chance to do Korean food in quite some time. We had a bit of a Georgian week last week. We made a bunch of different Georgian dishes. We made alarji, we made harchoa, we made soko kekse. We did a lot of different Georgian dishes. We did a lot of Mexican cooking, and so we're now going back a couple of months. We're doing some Korean cooking again. How have I been? Jack, I'm doing pretty good. I'd say I'm hanging out. I hope you're doing well as well. Okay, my friends, so today we're going to be doing 3 different dishes. We're going to be doing a little something called Jangjorim, which is essentially this really clean, this really simple Korean braised beef. I bought this super massive chunk of beef. If you guys remember on Wednesday stream, when we used this for the harchoa, this is the leftover beef. And so this beef is going to get braised, it's going to get really nice and tender and soft and shreddy, and it's going to be delicious. Traditionally, Jangjorim, if I'm not mistaken, almost really similar to a ropa vieja, is oftentimes made with a flank steak. Flank steak also a super ideal cut for this kind of shredding, but honestly, all I'm looking for is any kind of lean meat. This is a very lean piece of meat here. This is a very lean piece of beef. I believe this is either bottom round or top round. All I know is that this comes from somewhere in the leg. And the reason why I'm looking for something lean today is because I want this to get nice and tender, but I'm not looking for a particularly greasy braise. I'm not looking for like a greasy stew or anything. I want this to get nice and tender and soft, but I'm looking for like a very clean aftertaste today. So flank steak, top round, bottom round, just any lean cut of beef for today would be excellent. Bangs are flew for you today. It's a fun look. Well, I'm glad you like it, Tarina Chess. And so, my friends, to go alongside that lovely braised beef, you cannot have Korean cooking without a bunch of scallions. The scallions will be finding themselves in every single component today. They're going to be in there as a garnish. They're going to be in the muchim, which is a cucumber salad, and they're also going to be in the how do you say it? In the Gamja Jorim. Is that how you say it? The Gamja Jorim, excuse me. So the other dish that we'll be doing is a Gamja Jorim. Gamja Jorim is a Korean braised potato dish. And so my friends, I have here maybe, I don't know, like 1.5 to 2 pounds of little baby gold potatoes. These bad boys are going to get sauteed a little bit in some oil, and then they're going to get cooked down with some soy sauce, with some sugar, and a bunch of chilies. So we have 3 things in total. We have a cucumber salad, we have the braised potatoes, and then we also have the braised beef to do. As always, it will not be Korean cooking without some gochugaru, my friends. Gochugaru is the heart and the soul of so many different Korean dishes. Okay, so this is a Korean red pepper flake. It's a little bit fruity. It's a little bit like, I wouldn't say sweet, but I would say almost raisiny. So it's not just straight spicy. Okay, and so you cannot have Korean food without gochugaru. The most important pantry staples to have at home for Korean cooking is gochugaru, gochujang. Gochujang is the pepper paste, and doenjang, which is soybean paste. Silano Sat, welcome on in. Well, I'm glad that I can already hook you. I'm glad that I can already get you in this early. Stupid Blobfish, that's okay. It's lovely to have you nonetheless. And so my friends, this is what we need for the cucumber salad. As always, as you may know, I cannot stand English cucumbers. English cucumbers, the skin is almost tough and it has like a real waxiness to it. These bad boys are Persian cucumbers. These are my ideal kinds of cucumbers. These bad boys are gonna get sliced nice and thin. We're going to be combining them with sesame seeds, sesame oil, and then my friends, we have a bunch of green chilies, specifically serranos. And this is going to go into the beef and into the potatoes. So 3 dishes today: braised beef, braised potatoes, and then also a cucumber salad. I know that I just rapid fired everything for y'all really quickly, so let's just take a second, have a nice little breath. Is everybody excited for today? I want to hear a nice resounding yes, chef from everybody watching, please and thank you. Thank you, Natalie, for the yes, chef too. Perfect. And I do mean it from everybody. Let's have a little sip of water before we begin. Also, Gutshot and John Dahlia, lovely to see you. And level 25 Chad, welcome on in. Natalie, could you help me with the curtains a little bit, please? Just block off some of that light. That would be excellent. Please and thank you. Okay. So, my friends, we need to go ahead and we need to begin for today. We have a lot of stuff that we need to get done, and the order of operations will be as follows. First and foremost, we have to blanch the beef. This is going to be a super simple, super easy braised beef dish today, my friends. We're not going to do any searing. We're not going to do anything too complex. We're literally going to boil the beef. We're going to boil it, and then we're going to drain out the liquid. We're going to boil it again until it gets nice and soft, and then we're going to add in all of our lovely sauces to get our incredible braised beef for today. And so that's going to begin with slicing up our beef nice and thin. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my hair nice and tied up. Everybody seems like they're ready to begin. I'm also ready to begin. I apologize if I'm a little frazzled today. Just had a couple of things happen leading up until this, and so I'm just glad that we can get the ball rolling. I'm glad that we can get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and glove on up, my friends, because we will be handling some raw beef. Is this like the water pass in Chinese stir frying? Not quite, Serena Chess. This is blanching the beef, just so that we wouldn't have any scum inside of our braise. And so we'll talk about what scum is and why we're doing this process to begin with. Okay, my friends. So let's go ahead and head on over to my cutting board, where, as always, I have a little cutting board set up with a nice wet paper towel, because wet paper towel is going to stop my cutting board from sliding around. Sailano Sat, you asked me, what is my favorite food item? Beans. I love beans of all kinds. I love my legumes. I love my black beans. I love my red beans. Those are always really delicious. Okay, so everybody, I have here this lovely chunk of beef. And again, the kind of beef that I want you to use for today, this is roughly like 1.5 pounds. But again, for this kind of a braise, I'm not looking for chuck. I'm not looking for chuck. I'm not looking for anything too fatty, okay? I'm not looking for short ribs. I am looking for something very clean and very simple. And so, my friends, this is an eye of round. As you can see, this has almost no fat on it whatsoever. It has almost no intramuscular fat. It's really lean. You can use eye of round, you can use a bottom round, you can use a flank steak. Those would all be really good choices for today's dish. So here's the thing that people say about braising beef all the time. They say that, oh, fatty cuts are ideal for braising. And that's absolutely nonsense. Fatty cuts will give you a super rich, super fatty braise, but we're looking for something very clean. We're looking for something very neutral today. And lean meat does end up shredding up a lot better. So that's one of the first things that I want to dispel. Not all of your braises have to use short rib. Not all of your braises have to necessarily use chuck. And so, my friends, we also, a couple of days ago when we bought this, we put this onto a sheet tray and we let it air dry. We let this air dry, so it's going to be a lot easier for us to handle today. This is something that I love doing anytime that I'm buying any kind of meat whatsoever, guys. It makes it so much easier to handle later on. And so, we have to now figure out how we want to cut this. The thicker that we cut it, the longer that it's going to take to cook. I am not going to be using my pressure cooker today. We need to cook this for a nice long amount of time until the meat starts basically breaking down and it starts getting almost to the point that it starts shredding. And traditionally, you want to cut it parallel to the grain of the meat. You're looking for a bunch of long fibers. So guys, take a look. You see how all of the fibers of the beef, they're running this way. Okay, they're all going in this way. And so, we're going to be cutting it relatively parallel to that. Gut shot, I did not dry brine it. I purely air dried it. I didn't dry brine it because for braises, I don't think dry brining is actually all that important. You made the quesadillas from last week and I'm hooked. Magazines, I'm very happy to hear it. I'm glad that the quesadillas came out well for you. And so guys, I'm going to start off. I'm going to go ahead and get a nice long sharp knife. And the reason why I'm specifying a sharp knife, or a long knife, excuse me, in this case, is because we're looking for some nice long strokes so that we don't have to saw through the meat for today. So once again, let's go ahead and inspect the grain of the meat. It's all traveling this way. Chef, can you use that cut to make a beef Wellington? No 26 stacks. This cut of meat is super tough. We have all of this connective tissue running through the beef. Okay, so for the beef Wellington, to cook this like a steak, it would be a no-go. Chef, is there any other cut than flank that you can use for this recipe? Jack, as long as it's a lean beef. Any beef that looks particularly lean, I feel like would be a good choice for something like this. And so guys, here's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and just first cut this bad boy in half, just like so. Okay, and then we can go ahead and get a peek inside of the beef itself. And now, let's go ahead and think, how do we even want to cut this bad boy up? And what I am kind of leaning towards at the moment is, again, because I want to go parallel to the grain of the beef itself, I'm kind of thinking like this. Would flat iron be too beefish? My issue with flat iron is it might be a little bit too thin. We're not looking for anything paper thin today, guys. We're just going to be looking to cut things about 1/4 of an inch thick. Okay, so 1/4 of an inch thick. We don't have to be too precise with it. Again, we don't want too thick of a cut of beef because then it'll take a little bit too long to cook. This is meant to be a very simple, very easy boiled dish, my friends. There is no searing, there is no complex mechanics. And so, all I'm thinking about at this stage is, how do I actually want to end up slicing this beef? And at the moment, what I'm leaning towards is I'm going to cut this in half one more time. Just go all the way through, my friends, just like this, okay? And now that we've cut that in half one more time, we're going to go ahead and cut this into some nice little slices. So just like this. Not too thin, not too thick. Again, something roughly 1/4 to half an inch thick. Beautiful, just like that. And again, we're cutting it parallel to the grain because I want to go ahead and get some nice long fibers of beef here. Where did I just cut it? Did I just cut it like that? Okay, I see. So something like that. Cutting it all the way through, my friends, and getting it done. Does anybody have any questions for me at this stage of the process? Again, not too thin, not too thick. This is all that we're going to do to it. Continuing to just slice it and slice it. Okay. And this kind of a cut of meat, guys, this is too tough to actually cook like a steak. It has all of this connective tissue running through it. It has to be cooked down to 175 or so to get it tender enough to eat. How's it even more beautiful with a day or two of aging? What a lovely texture. It is, isn't it? It gets almost like purple on the outside. It gets really, really beautiful. Okay, so that's that little pile of beef, my friends. I'm going to just go ahead and put that back onto my, sheet tray really quickly. And let's go ahead and do the next one. Once again, guys, I'm just going to be cutting this bad boy in half like so. You bought a Victorinox knife sharpener? Well, I'm very happy for you, Jack. That sounds like a good investment for you. Okay? And we're just going to go in there, and once again, guys, we're just slicing it up. We're slicing it, and we're slicing it. How many will this serve? Chad, this is 1.5 pounds of beef. At minimum, maybe like 5 portions. 5 portions or so. So that's quite a few, I would say. Because here's also the thing that you need to understand about beef, about Korean cooking in general. A lot of dishes are meant to be served at once, right? Especially in like a very traditional Korean dinner spread. You have a lot of different dishes. You have typically a main dish or two, and then you have a bunch of different side dishes called banchan. And so in my case, the beef is going to be the main dish, the beef is going to be the star shell, and then the potatoes and the cucumber salad are going to be the banchan for today. So the point is, you're not meant to eat like a big pile of steak. You're not meant to eat like a big pile of beef. Typically, when you're eating Korean food, you're eating it all over a bowl of rice, and then you just get like a little bit of everything. There's some kimchi on the table, there's a salad on the table, there's a bunch of different little things on the table. A lot of things that are prepared ahead of time and then also kept in the fridge. And so, we're not going to be doing like a full banchan spread today, but we're just going to be doing these 3 dishes. So again, guys, we're continuing to cut it. We're continuing to slice up all of this beef. And yeah, 26X, so bulgogi, for instance, would be one of those things that would be considered like a main dish. Could you theoretically eat that cut raw safely? So Jack, that has nothing to do with the cut itself, but that has to do with the origin of the cow. And as for the origin of this cow, I'm going to tell you with confidence, no. If you're going to try to eat a raw piece of beef, you'd really want to make sure that, wasn't slaughtered too long ago, or at least it was dry aged in really, really good conditions, that sort of thing. You have to know the beef that you're intending on eating raw. So my friends, that is all of our beef for today. Let me go ahead and show you this lovely sheet tray really quickly. Okay, Beautiful. All of my beef has now been nicely and beautifully sliced up. And then we're going to go ahead and transfer that bad boy into a pot in just a second. It's a really beautiful color, isn't it? It's really, really gorgeous. Okay, in the meantime, am just going to go ahead and get the pot for this all set up and all ready to go. Okie dokie. And we're going to go ahead and get a kettle and fill it up with some water. Oof. So please excuse me as I quickly get that done. Lovely. Okay guys, and now let's go ahead and get the beef into the pot. And we'll be filling it up with a little bit of water. So guys, I just have a pot large enough to be able to accommodate all of the beef, right? We're just looking to pretty generously cover the beef. And the order of operations is as follows. We're going to bring it to a boil. And then once it's boiling, we let it cook for about a minute, and then we drain off all of that liquid because there's going to be a lot of scum that is built up. A lot of the proteins that the beef releases in the beginning tend to float to the top, and they make almost like a spongy layer. And that can also like contribute to a slightly unpleasant mouthfeel as you eat it. And I hate using the word mouthfeel because it is a little bit of a pretentious word, but we're just going to be boiling this, draining off the liquid, and then replacing it with some nice fresh water. We're not losing significant flavor because the flavor that we're really looking for, as in the collagen, only happens when the beef reaches about an internal temperature of 175 degrees. And so until then, we really truly have nothing to worry about. So guys, all of the beef, every single last bit of it into the pot, it all goes. Excellent. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and get my sheet tray into my dishwasher while I have a second of time. Just pop that in, and then I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands out really quickly, and then we will fill it up with some water. Okay. My apologies, guys. This is just gonna take 1 second. Just washing up my hands because I touched the sheet tray with my bare paws. Okay. Chef, are you using any additional oil to sear the meat? And the answer is no pseudo-natural. And there's a very specific reason for that. For a lot of different braises, people first sear their beef. You get a lot stronger, a lot beefier of a taste. I'm looking for, first of all, something really, really simple. A traditional Jangjorim, and in fact, a lot of traditional Korean stews are just kind of boiled. Okay, and so I'm looking for a very clean, very, very basic taste today. Trash and cat mom, the Georgian food was excellent today. It was lovely. So we don't have to worry about seasoning this beef, guys. All that we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and pour in a bunch of water to cover it up. Cover it up. And then maybe a little bit more. And then we're just gonna go ahead and bring it up to a boil. So just make sure it's nicely and generously and properly covered, just like that. But yes, pseudo-natural. Of course, I implore everybody to ask me any and all cooking questions that they may have, because guess what? I am here to teach you. That's you. I'm here to teach you how to cook. So let's go ahead and get all of the beef inside. And guys, the water is already going to turn a little bit murky, right? But that's okay. It's just going to happen. And then all that we're going to do is we're just going to take this pot and we're going to take it and turn it on to a nice medium high, whatever it really takes to get it boiling. Now hold on, I feel like that's a little worse than usual, isn't it? It is worse than usual. Okay, I think I got it. I got my polarizer nicely and properly adjusted. Okay, so guys, we got that now on a medium-high heat. We gotta bring it up to a boil. We gotta let it cook for just a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna strain out all of the liquid, bring it back up to a boil with some more water, and then that beef is gonna get nice and tender. While the beef is going, we're going to be preparing everything else that we need for today. We're gonna be slicing the potatoes, we're gonna be slicing up some of the onions, we're going to be getting all of our different sauces ready to go for today. So let me go ahead and have a nice little sip of water. And also, while this is coming up to a boil, does anybody have any cooking questions? I'm going to do a really quick favor for myself. I'm going to exchange my cutting board and wash up my knife. Does this remove those annoying toughness proteins? Serena, I'm not sure what you mean when you say toughness proteins. It doesn't really do anything for actually tenderizing the beef. Again, this is purely for the sake of clarifying the cooking liquid. We're clarifying the cooking liquid. We're going to get a much cleaner, visually and mouthfeel-wise, we're going to be getting a much cleaner stew as a result. Chef, do I have a food or cooking bucket list? Things that I have to try someday? That's a really good question. I feel like I've eaten a lot of what I've wanted to already. I guess my only like food and cooking bucket list has to directly do with like traveling to other places and then being able to eat in those other places that I would then travel to. That would be my only, cooking bucket list. Okay, so I am just going to quickly take a second and wash off my beefy knife because we will be using it for a couple of other things today. So let me just go ahead and get that all nicely properly done, get all the beef off of it, get it nice and sanitized, and then we'll be moving on throughout the other stuff today. Lovely. And again, guys, don't worry about seasoning the beef at this stage. You don't have to worry about it at all. I promise you, all that water is just going to have to go. Okay. Got my knife nicely and properly washed up. Let's go ahead and give it a little proper dry. Also, Pachirisu, it's lovely to have you. What are some African foods that I've tried? I've tried, of course, jollof rice. I've tried a couple of fish stews as well that I wouldn't be able to tell you the name of. But actually, when it comes to African cooking, the only, African cooking that I know a lot about is Ethiopian food. Aside from that, I feel quite ignorant when it comes to a lot of different African food. Chef, would I cook cow tongue on stream? Jack, the answer is maybe. I haven't had cow tongue in quite some time. To do like a boiled cow tongue, it does actually take quite a bit of cook time. And thus, I don't know if I necessarily have time for that on stream. Have I tried biltong? 26 stacks. I'm not entirely sure what that is off the top of my head. Okay, so my friends, we have the beef currently in the water. We're bringing it up to a boil. And then once, of course, it comes up to a boil, we'll be dropping it down to a simmer, letting it cook, and then straining out the liquid. And then once again, just cleaning out all of that liquid. Beef cheeks is fun to say, absolutely. I do love beef cheeks, but beef cheeks are almost really, really difficult to come by. There's only 2 of them on the entire cow, and most people don't really know what it is, and the people that do know what it is, they do end up buying it out. So I do find that actually obtaining beef cheeks is no easy feat whatsoever. I'm just gonna go ahead and give my beef like a nice little mix, just to make sure that it's like all evenly cooking. And guys, you can already tell that the water is getting super, super dirty. It's already getting really murky. Okay, that's all the different released proteins from the beef. We're going to be washing those out and replacing it with some nice, cool, fresh liquid. So, my friends, I am actually also simultaneously going to be getting another pot of water onto the boil. And we'll talk about why exactly I'm doing that in just a second. Because there's something else that I'd love to get some boiled water for you. Bring it up to a boil. Okay, sweet. Got a little pot of water ready, and that's gonna be for something else later on. Okay. Apologies for my tardiness, chef. I'll do all the dishes. Perfect. Happy to hear it. Also, welcome on in. Okay, so the beef is boiling, guys. Let's go ahead and move on. Did my polarizer just get even brighter again? Did it just do the thing? Or am I insane? I think I'm insane. Okay, dokie. So, guys, we gotta chop up some onions. We gotta get the prep for the potatoes done. It is time for us to get a little bit busy. So, we got our cutting board all set up. We got my knife nicely and beautifully washed up. We have a waste bowl ready to go. And so, guys, once again, you cannot have Korean food without, dare I say, an excess of scallions. There's going to be scallions in everything today. As a garnish, there's going to be scallions inside of the muchim itself. There's going to be scallions in the potatoes as well. We need scallions. But guys, something I really want to show off, something I really want to talk about quickly, is the scallion bottoms. The scallion bottoms, these parts, don't necessarily have to go to waste. A really, really nice use for the scallion roots after you wash them out, because they tend to have a lot of sand in them, okay, is to use them in stocks and in broths and in soups. And so guys, this water, after this boils out and we'll replace it, we're actually going to add all of my scallion bottoms so that they can then infuse into the actual stock itself, and it's going to help make it a little bit more aromatic. So we don't have to waste these at all. I'm just going to go through these one by one and just chop off each of my scallion bottoms, and they're going to add in a really, really nice aromatic component into it, guys. They're just going to add in a very, very nice aromatic quality. Okie dokie. Each of my scallion bottoms, beautiful, and one last one. Serena, do you have to go? Okay, well, it was lovely to have you nonetheless. Okay guys, so these are my scallion roots, and then I'm just going to go ahead and grab a separate little bowl and set that aside, or a separate little plate, doesn't really matter. And this is going to be the plate of aromatics that end up going into the beef stock itself. And so guys, we now have to think about the kinds of scallions that we have and the way that we want to go ahead and cut it up. Ooh, excuse me. So I'm thinking, do I actually want any scallions inside of the beef stew itself? It's gonna have regular onions. I kind of want to garnish it with the scallion greens. So the answer in my case is actually going to be no. I think I just want my scallions inside of the muchim, my cucumber salad, and I want the scallions inside of the braised potatoes. So let's go ahead and first, let's separate all of the whites and the greens because we're going to be using them a little bit differently in each. Okay, the greens will specifically be mostly used for the salad and for garnishing reasons, and then the whites will be cooking down. Lovely. And let's go ahead and slice off all of the greens one by one, my friends. Each and every single one of them. Lovely, just like that. And one last one. Okay, so all of these scallion whites, these bad boys are going to end up getting cooked down, and specifically they will be added into the braised potatoes. And then the scallion greens, some of these will go into the salad, and then some of these will be going in as a garnish. Jack, I'm not entirely sure what that is. I don't know what leaf. I'm not sure what you're trying to say is. Okay, so guys, let's go ahead and start off with my scallion whites, my scallion bottoms. All I'm going to really look for at this stage is I want something with a lot of texture. I want some really, really nice, long pieces. And so my favorite thing to do, guys, so I want you all to tap in. I want to hear a nice resounding yes, chef, please and thank you. I don't like cutting them into these little rounds. I don't like cutting them into these little discs because that way we don't get a lot of flat surface area and they end up being a little bit slippery. And so this is why we cut them on a bias. It's not just presentation purposes, but it's because of the fact that we get more surface area out of the scallions themselves. Okay, and so we're going to do this in two separate stacks. Just go ahead guys, take them, stack them up, and we're going to cut them on a nice, aggressive bias, just like this. And this way, they'll lay nice and flat, and we get a lot more surface area, right? Instead of just like round slippery edges on all of my scallion whites. So just cut it up, chop it up, get it done. And it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. It's a scallion. What would I do with leftover fried chicken breast? Leftover fried, like in a cutlet? That's a little bit tricky because once it's been breaded, it doesn't particularly reheat all that well. So I don't know, like a cold sandwich, like with a cold cutlet. That's always really, really nice and pleasant for me at least. Okay, and let's go ahead and just continue to just chunk it up, my friends. Again, nice long pieces. That's exactly what I'm looking for out of the scallion for today. And guys, we're using every single part of the scallion. Chef, do you prefer cutting, slicing ingredients nice and slowly, pretty fast? I'm actually going to say nice and slow, because when you go slow, you're able to give it a lot more attention, you're able to do a lot more delicate, and I'm not working in a restaurant kitchen, guys. I have no pressure just to be rushing. I could use it with the oyakodon. I see. Yeah, that would be a nice use to use up like a fried chicken breast with it. Have I ever had an ingredient that I've struggled to find a use for? Yes, pachirisu. Half and half. Half and half, I will continue to struggle to find a use for. I do not like working with half and half in any capacity whatsoever. So guys, our beef, you can see that water is getting all kinds of gross, right? It's getting all scummy on top, and that is totally okay. That is exactly what we're looking for at this stage. Once it comes up to a boil, we'll be rinsing out all that water and replacing it with some nice, fresh, cool water. Okay guys, as always, I have a bench scraper handy and ready to go, just so that I can scoop everything up. And now, let's go ahead and get my scallion greens ready to go. What about scones? So Jack, the issue is with half and half, it's like a little too liquidy. I'm typically looking for heavy cream if I'm making scones or biscuits or something. So guys, some of these scallions are going to be used as garnish, and the rest of these are going to be for the purpose of my cucumber salad. For the purpose of the garnish itself, we're actually going to be cutting them quite thick. So I'm thinking, once again, very similar to like the white part of the green onion. We're just going to be cutting it on a really aggressive bias, but we're cutting it super, super thinly. Nice aggressive bias so that we get to really, really see the full texture of all of my lovely scallion. Okay, but nice and thin so that it's not too harsh. Okay? But we're not going to do these kinds of scallions for the salad, because if we did scallions this big for the salad, it would kind of slip off of the cucumber. And we're looking for something a lot finer for my cucumber salad. So this is going to be my garnish, guys. Nice and thin, but nice and big. Okay? And I'm just going to, once again, just scoop all of this up and set it aside. And then for my last bundle of scallions, my friends, this is what's going to be used for the salad. Okay, so let's just go ahead and let's stack it up. Let's stack it up, let's stack it up. And yeah, half and half is just half heavy whipping cream and half whole milk. Hence, half and half. Yes, I have excellent knife skills. Thank you for noticing, underestimated monkey. So, how's my day? My day has been pretty excellent. Had a little somebody visit me from Florida today, and she's going to be staying with me for the next few days. And we went out to lunch, and it was excellent. Natalie, how's the food? Oh, you're sleeping. You're napping. My bad. My fault. Okay, so guys, we're going to go ahead and get my next half of the green onions. I'm going to get them sliced up super, super thin, okay? I'm not looking for this aggressive bias. These scallions, I want them to fit into the salad, okay? And I don't want big pieces because then it will be too harsh. So my friends, all that I'm really looking for, okay? There is no recipe on the Recipe Monkey. You can see the menu. You can type in !menu, but I'm not here to teach you recipes. I'm not here to show you guys recipes. I'm here just to teach you guys technique. So guys, super, super thin. This is all going to be used for the sake of the salad today. Okay? And we're just going through, we're getting all of it done. Also, Kaze, thank you for plugging the Patreon. Guys, if you like the cooking show, if you like what we do here, if you'd like to help me cook this full time, right? I want to continue to teach people how to cook. Please check out my Patreon. So guys, we're just going through all of these scallions. Every single last one of these bad boys. Beautiful. Just like this. Nice and easy. There you go. These are all of my scallions, my friends. Come take a look. And all of this is going to be used for the sake of the salad. So let's go ahead and do a little recap of all of the different cuts of scallions that we did. Not a single little bit goes to waste, but we've interpreted this ingredient in a lot of different ways. First, my friends, we took off the scallion bottoms. We're not going to be wasting this. They still have a lot of delicious onion flavor, and we'll be adding this into the beef itself. Then, all of these scallion whites are going to go into the potato. They're cut somewhat thick and they're nice and flat, so they have a lot of texture. These are going to be used for garnish, and this is all going to go into the salad. These are the thinnest, so that they're the least pungent, so that you don't get too much of it in one big bite. These are for the garnish because they'll sit really nice and pretty when they're that long. And these scallion whites, they hold up to cooking significantly better. On the stove, we don't have a particularly beautiful sight. Guys, look at all of that scum rising to the surface. This is why we're doing this pre-boiling step. By pre-boiling this beef, by getting rid of all of this scum right here, and we're going to be washing it off thoroughly. Okay, by getting rid of all of this, we're going to ensure that our braised today is nice and clean and delicious. So all of that is just the protein. All that is just the released proteins from the beef itself. And so, my friends, I am going to now be just washing and dumping this over a colander in the sink and getting that all processed up. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse it off. Everybody, please bear with me for just a second. I'm going to be heading off camera. Chef, how to filter the scum? We're not going to be filtering it pseudo-natural. We're just going to be dumping out all of the liquid at once. So I'm going to take the pot with me over to the sink. I'm going to set up a colander. I'm going to wash off my pieces of beef, and then I'm going to be washing off my pot. So I'll be stepping out of frame for just a second, guys. I do apologize about this, so just stay with me, stay patient. I promise I will be just back. I'm picking up my pot, and I'm just dumping it in the sink, and while I'm washing it, you can ask me any and all cooking questions that you may have. Ooh, that just smells like a bunch of boiled beef. So, kind of fine, but overall pretty indifferent. Also, Z the Dreamer, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you. So guys, once again, I have the chat with me. I'm not able to immediately talk to you guys. All I'm doing is I'm washing the beef under some nice cold water. I dumped it all into a colander. We got all of that scum out, and now we're just washing every single little chunk of my boiled beef. And then I'll be setting it aside. What would I do with miso outside of making miso butter or soup? So really good question, Death Owl. The beauty of miso paste is that it's a fermented soybean paste. You can do so many amazing things. You can do a sauce, you can do a marinade, you can look at Korean cooking and look at Chinese cooking and see how they use different fermented pastes. Okay? So guys, once again, I'm stepping off camera. I'm washing off my beef now. We're washing it off, we're getting all the scum off, and now I'm just going to go ahead and get a separate plate that I'll be stacking it up on. And then I'll have to wash off my pot because the scum really sticks to the pot itself. Just getting all of that scum off and out of here, every single last bit of it. One by one, just picking up each piece of beef and running it under some nice, cool water. The beef at this stage is not particularly cooked. All that it really is, guys, is it's just boiled. So what is scum? Also, hello, Freddy. Welcome on in. So what is scum? So gut shot. Scum is all of the released proteins from the beef. It's all the released proteins, all the immediate ones at least, that just tend to cake up and float up to the top. There's not particularly that much flavor there. It's just all the proteins that get released in the beginning of the cooking. And so if you're like sauteing it, it sticks to the bottom of the pan. And if you're boiling it, it just kind of ends up dirtying whatever it is that you're boiling. How long have I been cooking? Sariano said, I have been cooking since, well, I've been interested in food since I was 7 years old. As far as how long I've been cooking, I wouldn't be able to explicitly tell you. But sometime around since I was 7 years old. And I'm 21. So I want to say I've been cooking for about 14 years. It's quite some time. Okay. Washing off all of my beef, guys, one by one. And I know it doesn't look that impressive at the moment, guys. It is quite literally just boiled beef at this stage. It is just boiled beef. But we're going to get there, and you're going to see how delicious this beef is going to become. So once again, I'm going through all of it. I'm cleaning all of this beef up. Please bear with me. Thank you guys for being so patient with me through this process. And then once we actually get to the second phase of cooking, that may take at least 50 minutes and upwards of an hour and a half. I have quite the confidence that we'll be able to get everything else that we need to done. So we're actually going to be able to time everything well today. Or I at least hope so. Okay. I think that I got all of the scum off of my beef. That is perfect. Okay? And guys, all that we really have right now is just some blanched beef. All that it has happened is that it has just been boiled. So I'm going to show you my incredibly unimpressive beef. And then you're going to see how delicious it becomes later on today. Okay. My beef has now been officially washed. My beef has been cleaned. Everybody, once again, thank you so much for being so patient with me while I got that done. I know that that was a bit of a process. I do apologize for that. Once again, one of these days, I would love to get a sync camera set up. And now, I'm going to show you my incredibly unimpressive, my incredibly anticlimactic beef. Ready for this, guys? Just quite literally boiled beef at this stage. It is gray, it looks a little bit nasty, but I promise you it is going to get delicious with just a little bit of cook time. So we gotta be patient, it's going to all get there. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and just wash out my pot again. I'm gonna wash out my pot because as you guys can see, we have all of the scum stuck to the edges of the pot. And that's just going to dirty up our liquid again if we were to go ahead and include all that. So I'm putting it, now that it has cooled down properly, I've taken it off the heat and I'm just washing this out. I'm washing it out and I'm scrubbing it down to get rid of all of those stuck proteins. Proteins, guys, they have a tendency to stick wherever they go. And thus, this needs a proper, healthy scrubbing. Just scrub it, scrub it, scrub it, scrub it. Do what you gotta do. Get all of that scum unstuck from the pot. Using a non-stick pot probably would have been a little bit easier here in actually managing the proteins, but that's okay. Okay, a couple more passes. The water is still running a little bit dirty. It's still not completely clean as of yet, but we're gonna get there. Again, everybody, thank you so much for being patient with me. I know that there is nothing particularly exciting happening at the moment, but we are just going to get there in just a moment's time. So a couple more passes of some water. Chef, I hate to eat beetroot, but I want to know how to prepare it. Well, you should try doing a borscht, Jack. Because borscht is the way to fall in love with beet, especially because I don't love doing my borscht when I cut it up into chunks. I love separately roasting it and blending it down. So you can ask Trash Can Cat Mom how she made her borscht, because I know that is somebody who did it recently. Okay, guys. I know that took some time. I know that all took a while. I do sincerely apologize. But guess what? My pot has now been beautifully washed off. Oop, come back here, beef boy. Thank you very much. And now I'm just going to go ahead and wipe this pot off, just in case there's anything else particularly stuck anywhere around it. Just again, we're looking for a nice, clean pot, my friends, because we're doing a very clean, delicious beef braised today. It's not going to be super rich. It's not going to be super heavy. It's just using a lean beef, my friends, and it's going to come out amazing. So we did a lot off camera. Once again, I do apologize. One day in the future, I'm moving in July. I'm going to be moving to a different place. Hopefully then, maybe we could figure out a sync camera. How does that sound? Does that sound good? Can I please get a yes, chef? Please and thank you. Okay. So guys, my pot has now been wiped off, my beef has now been officially boiled, and now it is time for us to actually properly cook down the beef. It shrunk up a little bit, so we don't necessarily need as much liquid the second time around. So where is my kettle? Did I already put my kettle away? No, it's right here. Okay, and I'm just gonna fill up this kettle. And again, guys, don't worry about the seasoning at this stage. There's going to be a bunch of soy sauce going into the stew at the end of the day. So I'm gonna fill this up with some water until all of my beef, once again, I'm looking for all of it to be nicely and generously covered, okay? So one day we will get a sync camera. One day we will budget it into the show. Not today though, not yet. And so now, guys, because of the fact that we did this step, right? Because of the fact that we did this step, our water is going to be nice and clean as we boil the beef. It's going to have a much better mouthfeel. Also, thank you so much to Glue C for the gift sub. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Okay, and I'm also going to similarly rinse off my tongs because my tongs also have a little bit of scum on them left still. So let's go ahead and get rid of that now. Okay. And I'm just gonna move that back around in the pot, make sure that everything is nicely and beautifully submerged. And again, guys, I know that this looks unimpressive at the moment. It is quite literally beef and water. All that we have in this pot, guys, is just beef and plain old water. Chef, does Russia have something like pickled beets on the cuisine? Yes, I'm quite certain of it too. Also, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Jack. Thank you, that's really sweet of you. And now, we do have a hype train. Exciting. Okay. The beef is going, guys. It's going again. You have to trust the process. Does everybody trust this process? I want to hear a nice yes, chef, right now. Please and thank you. This is going to be an unimpressive process. It's going to be slow. It's going to be delicious. But we're going to have a bunch of spicy chilies. We're going to have some delicious soy sauce. We're going to have a little splash of sugar in there. It's going to be so simple. It's going to be so clean. And it's going to also, above all else, be so delicious. And now, guys, by the way, now that that's going, we can go ahead and properly add in my alliums. So my scallions can go in now, right? But we're going to be discarding those later. And then we're going to add one more aromatic in the form, okay? You know what we'll be adding? We are going to be adding in some ginger as well. We're going to be just getting a little teeny tiny piece of ginger. Let me see if I have any ginger actually. I think I should have a little bit left over. There you go. And guys, we don't need too much ginger. Again, I'm looking for this to be very lightly flavored today. So a little bit of ginger. I'm going to just cut off this piece because it kind of ended up getting dried off. So this is into the trash. And let's go ahead and chop off, I want to say a piece of ginger about this big. Okay, again, one little teeny tiny piece of ginger. I don't like having too much ginger in things. I feel like it can easily become overwhelming. And so I'm just going through it and I'm cutting the skin off with my knife, nice and sharp. Although you don't really have to, I just don't really want to wash my ginger or anything. Maybe one more piece like that, actually. So yes, Stacers, the reason why I'm not going for grated ginger is because I'm looking for something I can pick out. By grating the ginger, by chopping it inside of this, it would end up also making this cloudy, it would make it a little bit dirty, and we would end up over extracting the ginger. By intentionally keeping it whole like this, we can then easily take it out afterwards. So once again, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly slice off the skin of the ginger. Just chop it off, beautiful. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw this into the pot, my friends. Okay, just go ahead and get that bad boy in there. And again, guys, we're just going to bring that up to a boil, drop it to a simmer. Also, John Dahlia, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. That's really, really sweet of you. Thank you, thank you. My goodness, we're getting so many subs today. Okay, guys, I'm gonna need to slow down for a second and have a little bit of water. Is the ginger skin like sweet potato skin where it has all the vitamins and stuff in it? Hondo, I'm gonna tell you right now, I have no idea. And we're using negligible amounts of ginger. Like I'm talking like a teeny tiny piece of it, okay? And so, because of the fact that we're using so little ginger, right? I don't really care about the nutritional value of that. In the case of something like a sweet potato, because you're eating an entire sweet potato, that's different. In my case, I am purely using ginger as an aromatic component, guys. And you can already see, by the way, that the water is so much cleaner. When we added it in the first time, it was super, super murky. It was kind of red and everything, okay? What if you want to eat the ginger like a carrot? Rondo, be my guest. I would not do such a thing for me personally, though. A little sip of water. And now, my friends, let's go ahead and move on to the next step of today. So, little recap session. We brought the beef up to a boil, we exchanged the water, we washed out the pot, we put in some fresh water, we added some scallions, we added in some ginger, and now we have to do the rest of the components. This stew is also going to feature in some delicious boiled up onions. It's going to have a bunch of chilies, it's going to have some soy sauce, we have to measure all that stuff out. And the potatoes will actually be quite similar in their flavor profile as well. So we're just going to be slicing the potatoes in half, we're going to be getting a bunch of garlic for it, we have to peel up a bunch of cloves of garlic. So yeah, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Is everybody ready? I want to hear a nice resounding yes, chef, from everybody watching, please and thank you. Okay. So what shall we do first? Let's go ahead and start processing up some of my lovely onions. I have no specific reason for actually tossing it up in the air other than I just feel like it kind of looks cool sometimes. So we have this onion. We're going to need in total today 2 onions, my friends. One of these onions will be dedicated for the potatoes and one of them is going to be dedicated for the beef itself. So all that I'm going to do, guys, is we're going to be slicing off the top of the onion and we'll also be slicing off the bottom of the onion. Okay, let's just go ahead and get that all peeled up now. Beautiful. And now let's go ahead and slice it in half. And now, once we've actually sliced the onion in half, we'll be able to go ahead and get rid of all of my onion skin. Just all of it off, all of it in one go. And guys, just keep this onion together for just a little bit longer. Okay, and there's a reason why I took the root off. It's because we're going to be cutting it parallel to the grain of the cells of the onion itself. Okay, so my onion is right here, my friends. All that I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and stack it up. And we're going to be cutting it this way. We're not cutting into these super thin rings. We're just going to be cutting it parallel to, once again, the grain of the onion. So we take it and we're looking for a medium thick slice, guys. We're not looking for something super paper thin because then it gets too soft, it almost dissolves, and then we're not gonna be able to feel the onions. Similarly, we're not looking for massive chunks of onions because at the end of the day, this is all about the beef. So, take the onion, and guys, we're just going to pull our knife all the way through for medium thick slices. So something like this, something like that, beautiful. Guys, all of my onion nicely, properly, beautifully sliced up. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Nice and easy. There's nothing crazy today, guys. We're doing a bunch of boiling, right? Almost nothing is gonna get fried besides the potatoes, really. Everything today is just chill and comfy and easy to do. What is a French cut, Stacey's? I'm not sure what you're talking about here. So this is going to be the onions for the beef stew itself. I was looking for some nice long pieces. And then the other onion that's going to be for the potatoes is going to be doing, we're going to be doing like a medium chop. So I'm not going to be looking for super long pieces like this. I'm looking for something to sort of emulate the shape of the potato itself. So I'm going to go ahead and put this plate of onions behind me. Okay. And I'm just going to be giving my beef a little stir, just making sure that it's doing well. Make sure that different pieces are like at the top so that everything is like cooking up nice and evenly. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and do my other onion now. And I just have my transfer bowl ready to go for it. And so guys, really similar idea. I'm using my bench scraper just to clean up my cutting board, except this time, we're not cutting off the bottom of the onion. This is the root and this is the head, and I'm gonna show you why. This onion, we're going to be chopping up into squares. And so we need the root of the onion to hold it intact. We will be doing the onion fan method for today. So guys, we're going to go ahead, take the onion, and we cut off the head of the onion, as always. Cut off the head, throw it down into my trash bowl. And now we're going to go ahead and slice this onion in half. There you go. And now guys, once again, always a waste bowl ready to go on my cutting board, just so they can easily get rid of anything. Right, guys? If you don't have a waste bowl on your cutting board, if you don't have a waste bowl on your cutting board, you're going to be going between your cutting board and the trash all the time. By having a separate, completely dedicated vessel, okay, it's going to go ahead and make your life so much easier. You have to dirty one more dish, but it is worth it, and everybody should be doing this. Also, the middle of this onion is actually a little bit nasty. We're going to have to end up trimming the middle out. So now that we've cut it in half, we can inspect the middle part. Let's just take this and clean up our station one more time. Yeah, cross-contamination, but also it's just a hassle. At the end of the day, laundry removes, it is an incredible hassle. So guys, the middle of this onion is actually a little bit finicky. It's a little bit funky at the moment, excuse me. So I'm just going to make 2 diagonal incisions and pop out the core. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one, guys. So you see it's a little bit funky, and just go in there, make a little incision. It's a little bit old. In fact, we could probably go in even further. Something like that. Cut it off, and once again, into my waste bowl. It's so to develop a skin on the inside. This is not the world's freshest onion or anything, but that's okay. It's an onion, and we're still going to be able to salvage it. Okay, my hands right now are a little not amazing. They're really dry. I'm going to just quickly rinse them off, moisturize them, and then I'll be putting on some gloves, I think. I think that'll be good for us to do today. Whew. Guys, we have so much to get done today still. We still got to continue cooking up the beef. We got to do the potatoes still. There is a lot of work in our future coming on up. So, my hands are now nicely and properly dried up. And now I'm going to just moisturize it really quickly, and then I'll be slipping on some gloves. Jack, I don't know yet. Jack, don't worry about those details. Jack, I don't have any of those details ready to go yet. The cooking streams will go on though, okay? When I have details, I will let you know. Okay, so let me go ahead and glove on up for this onion at the very least. It's kind of actually hard once you've moisturized to put on a nitrile glove. Impossible, basically, but got it done. Does anybody have any cooking questions for me at the moment? Does anybody have any questions about what we're doing or why we're doing it the way we are? Okay, so guys, here's my onion ready to go. And now all that I'm going to do is we're going to be doing the onion fan method. We're holding it by the root end of the onion. And now we're making a bunch of parallel incisions. We're not cutting all the way to the end. We're just making incisions. And once we've made these incisions, my friends, all that we have to go ahead and do, we're looking for a nice medium chop here. Again, I'm not looking for the onions to be the star of the show of the potatoes. Okay, but you can't go wrong with onions at the end of the day. You can't have too many onions. Okay, there you go. That is done. Let's go ahead and get that transferred into my little bowl. Beautiful. And let's do the next one. Onion is cut from root to stem end, and the pieces that run the length of the onion. Yeah, Stacey's, I'm not entirely sure what a French cut onion is and how practical it is necessarily. We might be thinking of the same thing at the moment with just two different names, but that's okay. So guys, once again, medium dice all the way through. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. And now all of my onions for today are nicely and properly processed and ready to go. In fact, I might want to get a smaller bowl for this because I don't feel like wasting such a large bowl for the device. So let me just go ahead and get my onions transferred out because I'm going to need this bowl later on anyways. So guys, let's do a little bit of a recap session. Today, we are doing a bunch of different Korean dishes at the moment on the stove. Okay, we have some beef that we initially put into some water. We brought it up to a boil. We drained out all of the liquid. Okay, we cleaned up the pot, we cleaned up the beef, and now it is going to come to a boil again. This time with ginger and scallions, and then later on, we will be adding soy sauce, we'll be adding in some spicy chilies, and we will be adding in some onions as well. So it's all going to get super delicious. And now guys, take a look. That water is so much cleaner. It's significantly less funky. Before, it was scummy, right? It had like this big cake of proteins all the way at the top, and now it's a lot cleaner. And that is exactly what we're looking for out of a dish like this. So for today, we're also going to be doing some Korean braised potatoes. The potatoes will feature these thickly cut scallions. The muchim, my cucumber salad, is going to feature these thinly cut scallions. And then these green scallions that were thinly sliced like this will be a garnish. Okay, then we have all of these onions sliced up. These sliced onions, the long pieces, are going to go for the beef. And then the medium dice, this medium diced onion is going to go for the potatoes. Okay, is the cow water boiled already, steadily sub-boiling? What do you mean, Serena? So the water was already boiled, and then we cleaned out the entire pot. And then guys, we have a bunch of these potatoes that we have to go ahead and get processed. There is quite a lot for us to do at the moment. Let me have a nice little sip of water before we continue. Are the scallion roots are in warm but not boiling water? Serena, they're in the second batch, so now we're actually just cooking the beef. What we care about now is cooking up the beef nice and slowly over the course of the next hour until it gets nice and shreddable and nice and tender. So let's look at the pot. Let's just watch the pot. I just have to check a notification really quickly. My apologies. And then we're also in the same process, in the same time, guys, we're going to just be reducing all of this liquid down. We're going to be concentrating all that beefy flavor. We'll be essentially getting like a pseudo beef stock as well. Chef, what is a fact that you find really funny? I don't know. Jack, you just put me on the spot. I don't know if I have a fact off the top of my head of something that I find really funny or anything. Boil the cow with the onion? It's going to happen, Guido. I promise you, that is all going to happen. Okay, so what do we actually have to do next? We have to slice up the potatoes, my friends. So let's go ahead and get that going in the meantime. Got my bowl, got my potatoes, and I'm just going to be filling up my bowl with some nice, cool water. And we'll talk about why in a second. So, my friends, my lovely little chatters, I have here a bunch of baby gold potatoes. And so these baby gold potatoes, all we're going to be doing to them is we're just going to be slicing them in half. I'm not really looking for whole braised potatoes. I kind of want like them cut in half so they get like a slightly crispy edge to it. Use whatever potatoes that you have. You can even use adult Yukon Golds. The reason why I love Yukon Golds is because they're almost creamy on the inside. There's almost a certain custardiness to them. And that custardiness, especially in a braised potato dish like this, would be exceptional. It would be really, really delicious. And so guys, I'm just going to be taking each of the potatoes, and then all I'm going to be doing, so this is going to be giving us a nice flat side, okay, to the potato. That's going to get nice and crispy. And then we're also keeping all of the skin. The reason why I love baby gold potatoes is all they need is a scrub, and we don't have to peel them. We get to keep all the nutrition, we get to keep all the flavor of them. Okay, so guys, every single one of them, let's go ahead and slice them in half, and they go into cold water. The reason that they go into water is because if we did not, they would end up oxidizing and they would end up turning brown. And we don't want my potatoes to turn brown, do we? I want to hear a nice no, chef, please and thank you. So go through every single one of the potatoes, and also by cutting them in half, they will be cooking significantly faster. Do I have a favorite potato? Yes, good weirdo. It is the Yukon Gold. The Yukon Gold can be used for everything. Anything and everything that you can possibly imagine. So each of my potatoes, guys, and again, I'm using roughly 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds. I'm not really counting, I'm not really measuring or anything. And we're just gonna have them in cold water until we're ready to use it. I'm considering using my salad spinner to get rid of the water once we strain off the potatoes. Can I eat a Yukon potato like a steak whole? Hondo, be my guest if you would like to eat a raw potato. I'm sure that it would upset your stomach slightly, but I'm sure you'd have an excellent time, my friend. Okay, cutting up and slicing up every single one of my lovely potatoes, my friends. Boop. But yeah, I love Yukon Golds. I love doing smashed potatoes. I love doing roasted potatoes. I love doing boiled potatoes. I love frying with them. Yukon Golds are the jack of all trades for me. Now, do they get as crispy as other kinds of potatoes? Not necessarily, but I love how creamy they are. I love how thick they are. I love how custardy they are. Never use them for chips. Stasers, are you talking about like potato chips, or are you talking about like British chips? What kind of chips are we talking about here? Like French fries chips or like crisps? I have to ask because a lot of my audience is European. USA chips. Yes, well, Stasers, I'm also going to say this. I don't think anybody should be doing potato chips at home. It's completely and utterly impractical. Nobody is going to be sitting there with a mandolin, thinly cutting chips, and then deep frying them at home unless you're doing it as a novelty project. Everything that I'm doing here, guys, is all about the home cooking aspect. We're cooking at home, my friends. Okay, so guess what? All of my lovely Yukon Golds, my baby gold potatoes, they have been sliced up and they're sitting in some nice cold water, guys. And this is done so that we stop the potatoes from oxidizing. I'm going to go ahead and set them behind me because we have no more immediate use for them. I'm going to rinse off my knife because it's really, really starchy, right? And we don't want any of that starch on the knife or on the rest of the vegetables that we need to go ahead and prep for today. Okay, just getting that done, getting all of that out of the way. Lovely. Getting that done, guys, getting that out of the way, so please bear with me for just a moment. Beautiful. My knife is now properly washed off. And guys, guess what? The beef is boiling, the beef is cooking. And so we just gotta keep it cooking. We gotta keep it boiling. The goal, my friends, is to get that beef nicely and properly cooked until it's delicious and it's tender. Okay? And this is going to take quite some time depending on the cut of beef that you use, depending on the thickness of your beef as well. This is going to be a really, really easy dish. There is no frying, there is no sauteing for it. All that you need, guys, is a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. John Dahlia, do you serve potatoes, like as in like potato chips for Christmas, like homemade chips? I've never heard of such a thing. I didn't know that was a thing at all. Serious question. Have I ever cooked with potassium salt? Not in the slightest, Rondo. I have no idea what potassium salt tastes like, and I have no idea how to substitute for it. So, I know there's a couple of people that can't have salt. Is that what potassium salt is for? It's meant to be like as a substitute, because I've never, like I know that salt substitutes exist, but I didn't know that it was made out of potassium or anything. Making them on your own is underrated. You can do your flavors and everything. Well, Stasers, my issue is, at the end of the day, it's fun as a novelty, but I don't have like a commercial deep fryer at home. It's a lot of effort. It is a significant, non-negligible amount of effort for somebody like me. But you, feel free to. It is just not an endeavor that I would encourage people to do at home, because at the end of the day, my goal is to feed people at home. My goal is to create meals that stand in the fridge. And by the way, while we're on the topic, guys, this kind of stuff is ideal home cooking, and let me tell you why. Even though we're doing a lot of work now, this is a beef stew that we're doing. Beef stews reheat incredibly well. We're doing a cucumber salad that quite literally gets better the longer that it sits in the fridge. Ideal home cooking. We're making braised potatoes that are intentionally not crispy. We fry them in the beginning for a little bit of flavor, but then it gets cooked down. All of these dishes are optimal in a home setting where you're reheating things, where you're putting things into a fridge. And that is the kind of a food that I want to be teaching people. I don't want to teach people impractical dishes that take 30 different ingredients and that are only good in the moment. Like a beef Wellington, I don't consider that to be particularly good home food. At the end of the day, I want to teach people food that is well suited to the home environment. And guys, take a look. Look how clean this water is this time around. Look how clean it is, simply because of the fact that we did that entire process of draining out the scum. And now, guys, because of all of that connective tissue, because of all of that collagen in the beef itself, we're going to be building up some beautiful, beautiful flavor in this cooking liquid itself. Okay. I'm just cracking my back really quickly. Ooh, that was a good one. My goodness. I don't know if you guys heard my neck crack as well. Have I ever considered making, I'm not sure what that is, flavorful. Also, welcome on in. Hope you're having a good day today. Can you tell me about what that is? Okay, nice crack, thank you. Sorry for the ASMR stream, guys. Okay, so that's currently going. And so I actually want to do something incredibly atraditional today. We're going to be doing something really, really, really different. And that is, I'm going to be adding in a bunch of unrelated herbs into my potatoes, and let me talk to you why. Guys, the most important rule, I need you all to tap in, is everybody listening to me. I need to hear a nice yes chef from everybody watching, please and thank you. Right now, come on. Yes chefs, all the way around. The most important thing about cooking at home, the most important thing about making a recipe quote unquote authentic, is to make sure that it is localized to the needs of your home kitchen. The most important thing that you can do when you're cooking at home is to use up existing leftovers. The reason why I'm doing this beef dish today, guys, is not only just to, of course, use up this beef, but I have a little something that I want to get rid of. I have a bunch of dill, I have a bunch of parsley, and I have a bunch of cilantro. I love herbs with my potatoes. Dill, parsley, cilantro. Do you see those in Korean cooking? Not particularly. I'm going to be adding all of them into my potatoes today. It is not traditional, it is not authentic. These herbs are not particularly used like that in this dish or in Korean cooking. However, it's still going to be delicious at the end of the day. It's still going to be delicious because my goal is to use up my existing leftovers above all else. I am not going to buy a bunch of ingredients that I do not have to try and force my kitchen to do something it does not want to do. I have to use up fresh herbs, and you can put them into places that they even culturally, authentically do not belong in. It is okay. You are cooking at home. Nobody is going to shoot you. I promise. The best thing, the most authentic thing that you can do is to use the things that you have. And so, we're going to be adding in cilantro into my cucumber salad, and then we're also going to be adding in dill and parsley into my potatoes. So let's go ahead and get all of those boys prepped and ready to go for us. It's not traditional, but guess what? At the end of the day, authenticity, when people take authenticity and they say, oh, this is not how it's done in Korea, right? Or this is not how it's done in whatever country, right? That it becomes a problem because you're typically not cooking in that country with those kinds of ingredients available to you. The most important thing for me at home, guys, is guess what? I have a ridiculous amount of parsley. I have a ridiculous amount of parsley. And you know what's excellent with parsley? Potatoes. And dill and potatoes, classic Eastern European cooking, guys. So let's get rid of the stuff that we already have first. So does everybody understand why I'm including these kinds of things today? Does everybody understand why I'm doing this? So I'm going to be starting off by processing up all of my parsley, my friends. Okay, and we'll be adding this into my potatoes. So as always, guys, we're going to be going through this and getting rid of any and all any and all stems. We do not need any of the stems. The stems, they tend to have a bit of a fibrous texture. And while I'm taking the stems off, I'm going to be, just answering any quick cooking questions you have. Do I have herb pots in my kitchens? Stasers, my issue is I don't actually know enough about botany and growing herbs to actually do that myself. And that is a bit of a time investment. So at some point in the future, I would love to be able to start to do that on my own. But now is not that time. Okay, my beef is going. I'm just going to give it a little stir, a little mix. Okay, looking good. Lovely. Okay, guys, and once again, we're just getting rid of all of the parsley from the stalk and discarding my stems. But yeah, I would love to be able to grow my own someday. I'm so busy that I haven't gotten started, but I would love to be able to save money. I would love to be able to save money and not feel like I have to use herbs so much. Guys, shopping for herbs can be difficult. You need a little bit for one dish that you have in mind, and then you have a bunch of it left over in the fridge. What I'm trying to show you guys is how to use up a bunch of herbs at once. Most, especially American cooks, they get so many herbs and it goes bad in the fridge by the end of the week. So, give me a show of hands, everybody. How many times, or has this happened to you? Has somebody here bought an herb that they don't typically cook with for a specific dish, for a specific recipe, and then they don't touch it for the rest of the week, and then does it go bad in your fridge? How many of you has that happened to? I want to hear a nice me chef or an O/whatever. Yup, basil, cilantro, parsley, all of these different things that don't have a lot of shelf life. And so, my goal is to show you all of the different creative ways that we can use it up. When we have this much parsley, guys, it's a really good idea to cook it down. This parsley has already been sitting in my fridge for a few days. It's time for it to go. So let's go ahead and pluck it off, and we're going to be adding it into the potatoes. Is it authentic? No. Is it going to be delicious? Guys, it's parsley and potatoes. Jack, you said truly never? Well, I'm glad that you're different. But this is a very common experience for especially Americans. When our supermarkets, they sell you exclusively massive bundles of herbs. And I don't know how true that is in other places. Your two options are really like crappy quality, like herbs in like a little plastic box that have been sitting there for God knows how long. So that's your option, or a big bundle of herbs that's going to go bad. Can you not buy by weight in the USA? So the issue is, Stasers, that herbs specifically are bundled and are sold per bundle. $1.50 a bundle, 75 cents a bundle, $3 a bundle, that kind of a thing. Herbs are not bought by weight. Some produce is bought by weight and some ones aren't. And the reason why this is done is because if people wanted to just buy herbs by weight, they would be paying pennies for the amount that they would actually need. And so, what I want to do, guys, is I just want to teach you how to cook with a lot of herbs because we have to. But yeah, typically in the United States, you're not buying herbs by weight. Almost never, in fact. Okay, those leaves are starting to get a little bit yellow. We'll get rid of those. And again, guys, we're just getting this bundle of parsley all ready to go for us. You use dried parsley. Else, Joe, dried parsley, ugh. I'm not gonna lie, some dried herbs are okay, like oregano, but dried parsley, it's so lifeless. It feels so soulless. Okay. So, my friends, we have now gotten all of this stuff done and ready to go. And we have all of the stems off. And again, I got rid of the stems because it's a little bit woody. So, my friends, Elcio, it's okay. You don't have to apologize to me. Apologize to yourself. But again, if that's what you use in your kitchen, use it, But, okay, my friends. Can you cook with tea leaves like herbs? Pachyrisa, not particularly. Tea leaves are almost kind of papery. So we have all of these herbs. So I have a question. How many of you have seen somebody be like, okay, it's time to chop the herbs. And they take their knife and they do this brrrr, all the way through it. How many of you times seen that? And somebody would call it, oh, we're rock chopping today. That's a technique. How many times have you guys seen that? Have you seen somebody do that in the past? I'm gonna get some more water while you guys take your sweet time to answer me. You've seen it a lot. And let me tell you something right now, everybody. This rock chop is a tragedy, and it is a disaster, and it is something advised by people who have, truthfully, no idea what they're talking about. And let me explain to you why. When you chop something, you use a very small portion of your knife. When you do this vertical motion, you're cleaving it and you're crushing cells on the way down. When you're slicing something, you're gently going through it and damaging as few cells as possible. When it comes to fresh herbs, when you chop them so aggressively that you're crushing the cells, you're oxidizing them. They turn brown and they lose all of their flavor. By gently slicing them, the herbs get to preserve and keep their flavor fairly intact. My friends, in this household, we do not chop the herbs, we slice them. So let me show you exactly what you need to do. I'm gonna do this in 2 bundles. Okay, just to make my life a little easier, we'll be doing this in 2 bundles. So let's go ahead and get half of this out onto the cutting board. Let's take all of my parsley, guys. All of it, all of it, all of it. Let's take it in our hands and we're gonna hold it like a little, guess what, like a little baby bird. Not so firmly that we crush its little brains out, but not so gently that it flies away. So we take our herbs, my friends, we take it and we bundle it up and then we set it down onto the cutting board. We set down the cutting board and we slice it. We pull our knife through it. Guys, how many times have you chopped herbs and the bottom of your cutting board was wet and your herbs looked destroyed? By gently slicing it with a nice sharp knife, I'm barely pushing. I'm just pulling my knife, guys. Pulling it. Minimal vertical force. By pulling it and by crushing it as little as possible, guys, we get beautiful, fresh herbs that are not crushed. They're not sticking to the cutting board. They're not losing their flavor. They will just remain intact and beautiful. Just slice, my friends. Don't chop it. Can I please get a yes, chef? Just slice it and 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 slice it all the way through, my friends. Beautiful. And let's go ahead and get the rest of these bad boys just to make sure that all of them got the same treatment. And guys, take a look. Look at this. Look at it. It's completely intact. My cutting board is not wet. It's not wet. It's not soaked. My herbs are not crushed. And now, my friends, we take a lovely little bench scraper and we scoop it all up. In fact, I'm actually going to be using this other container, so let me just move this to the side. Let's get the next batch of herbs on. Okay, and I'm just going to scoop all of this up and put it onto my plate. Yes, I am against using a food processor in a copy for herbs, unless, whoa, uh-oh, I spilled some on the ground. Some, not a lot, but some. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and gather them up. Jack, I know you're going to say 34 or something. There you go. Thank you, Jack, for counting the amount of times that we've dropped something. You're so sweet. Okay, we dropped some of the parsley. It's okay. Yes, Nicopi, I am against using a food processor for them. If you want to use a food processor or if you want to crush them, blanch them first. By blanching your herbs first, you're deactivating the enzymes that cause them to oxidize. So you lose a little bit of flavor, but you get a lot more longevity out of them. They just tend to last a lot longer. So Nicopi, blanch them first, okay? If you want to use a food processor. So, guys, let's go ahead and take this bundle of herbs once again. Let's take it, let's take it, let's take it. Okie dokie. And we're gonna take it all. And now, my friends, once again, bundle it up, hold your little baby bird, chirp, chirp. Stop moving in my hand, please and thank you. And we're slicing her up. And we're slicing and slicing and slicing and slicing all the way through. And we're never crushing, we're never chopping. And guys, this isn't traditional in Korean cooking whatsoever, right? Adding parsley to the potato and then to this beef stew as well. Not particularly traditional, but guess what? It's still going to be delicious at the end of the day. I'm just going to get this into slightly smaller pieces. There you go. And once again, guys, look, my cutting board is nice and dry. No, John Dahlia, this is super, super simple. During this boiling stage, it's just the water, just the ginger, and just the, the scallion ends. So all of my parsley is now nice and chopped, and we're going to be giving the dill the same exact treatment. Oh, Daramgar! That was me doing a French accent here. That is sacrilegious. But it's okay. It's fine, guys. Again, we're keeping it authentic to our kitchen. We're keeping it authentic to our kitchen. We're using what we have first and foremost above all else. Let's go ahead. And once again, guys, we're just going to be taking the fronds. Okay, we're going to be taking the fronds off the stems. Because again, I don't like the texture, especially of dill stems. The dill stems are some of my least favorite. So, everybody, once again, if you would like to support this, if you'd like to support the cooking show, please go ahead and check me out on Patreon. If you'd like to support there, all the money and contributions go, well, more of a split goes directly to me. I would love to be able to do this full time one day. I want to be able to continue to teach people how to cook. And so, everybody, my entire model is this. I do not want to take sponsorships. So a lot of people say, oh, this content was made free because of the fact that we have a sponsor. Well, that content is not actually free, is it? What they're doing is they're selling your attention span and in bad faith selling you garbage products, garbage cookware products, garbage lifestyle products that you truthfully do not need. I never want to take any sponsorships, and I turned off the Twitch ads. I can't turn off the pre-roll ads. That one is baked into Twitch itself, but I've turned off the ads, and I've turned off, and I'm never going to be taking any sponsorships for this cooking show. I firmly believe that information should be free, because to the people that actually benefit from this, right, for what it means to actually cook at home, you shouldn't have to pay money to get easily reproducible information. Everybody, we live in the day and age of reproducible information. We live in the greatest time of communication technology. Books and PDFs and music and all these different things, they should be free to copy. But they're not. They're not because people are profiting off of their reproduction. And thus, what I would like to do is I would like to have the people that cannot or are not willing to pay it, or for whatever reason, I want it to still be available and free. And for those that have the desire to support this, or for those that are, financially able to do so, and to give them that direct route. And I think that this kind of a model is sustainable. And thus, I would like the Patreon to succeed. So that is the only thing that I would ever plug or advertise here, my friends. So I am advertising to you guys a little bit here, but I will never, in bad faith, advertise to you anything, any sponsor that is selling me, a product that I just have no use for, that you have no use for. I'm here to teach you how to cook at home. This is free to watch on Twitch. I will never paywall any content. My Patreon is purely for the people that want to give me money. The only thing that's paywalled is a special private Discord, but there is no special exclusive recipes or dishes or anything whatsoever. That's all that you get. Nothing is paywalled, everything is out there for free, and I just want anybody with the ability to do so to help financially support the show. That's all. So thank you for listening to my long extended rant. I just want to talk to you about the function of my Patreon and how I hope that it will one day help me fund to be able to do this full time. Yeah. Thank you for listening. So guys, we got all of the dill off now. The dill is now in a nice little bundle, and we're going to give it the same exact treatment as the parsley. We grab it and we bundle it up. Just like so. Roll it up in our hands, and let's go ahead and slice this bad boy down nice and thin. Slice it and slice it and slice it. And guys, we're not crushing, we're not chopping, we're slicing. You have no idea how gentle I'm being. We're almost surgical about this. We're using it like a scalpel. We're just slicing and slicing and slicing and slicing and slicing. Beautiful. And we're just going to give it like one more pass through just to get any dill that was not processed. And guys, dill and potatoes. Dill and potatoes is one of the oldest combinations known to mankind. Dill and potatoes is the heart and soul of so much Russian food. So this is still going to be delicious at the end of the day. All of my dill, all of my parsley, I'm going to go ahead and just get this container thrown into the dishwasher. Is everybody still watching? I want to hear a nice resounding yes, chef, from everybody watching right now, please, and thank you. The beef is going, the beef is cooking. It is boiling away until it's nice and tender for us to eat, my friends. We could probably pull out the scallions soon so that they don't get like too mushy, so they don't over extract. Okay, so we got these herbs prepped, and now my last herb that I wanted to get rid of, guys, because again, cooking at home is all about getting rid of leftovers, is my cilantro. The cilantro I actually wanted to go in my cucumber salad for today. So I'll be going ahead and setting these herbs behind me. Oh, Jack, I haven't seen it yet. I'm sorry. I've just been really busy the last few days. So, oh guys, by the way, really quickly, the way that you keep herbs fresh, Tupperware paper towel, it's a really nice natural humidity regulator, okay? So, let's go ahead and pluck off, once again, guys, we have a lot of herbs to do. This is a rescue mission for all of my incredible herbs. And I'm almost inspired. There's a lot of like Chinese cucumber salads that use cilantro. And so in a way, this is sort of what I'm trying to evoke. So my cilantro is not gonna go to the potatoes, even though it'll be delicious there, because I just think it'll be really delicious just to have it in my cucumber salad. Okay, so just go through each of these one by one, my friends. And guess what? We've used up all of the herbs, all of my leftover herbs, all of my parsley, all of my dill. I didn't let it go bad. We're not throwing it away at the end of the week, guys. We're just going to be cooking with it all. And that's what it means to cook at home, my friends. And I know this isn't glamorous work, picking it off the stems, but that's okay. There you go. That's that. And that's that. Lovely. Almost done, my friends. And then we'll be, once again, just giving this bad boy a good old-fashioned slice action. Boop. And we're almost done. Does anybody have any more questions for me in the meantime? Remember, I'm here to teach you how to cook. It doesn't just have to be about this dish. It can be about anything that you would like. I am here on your time, my friends. So take advantage of it. So let's go ahead and let's take the cilantro one last time. And this is going to be for the salad, so I'm looking for really, really thin slices for this bad boy. Take it, roll it up, and let's slice and slice and slice all the way through. What is my favorite alcoholic drink? Jack, that's a good question. I don't really drink alcohol because it does make me feel quite sick. I think I might have like an alcohol intolerance or something wrong with my liver. But if I had to say, I like gin. I like gin quite a bit. I like Bloody Marys. I love anything savory. So I typically hate sweet drinks. So I love like a good Bloody Mary. In fact, I think I just like a lot of tomato juice. So completely non-alcoholic, I just love tomato juice. But if I had to say, it would definitely be a Bloody Mary. Nice and spicy, just something that's like, yeah, this is delicious. You know? But I think I'd actually really, really prefer, it's not the best of that. Well, Shazio, it's okay because gin and tonic is fine. It's fine, okay? It's fine. It's better than like a fruit juice for me, right? Okay, so all of my cilantro has now been properly processed. But yeah, I prefer Bloody Marys, but in fact, I think I just want a virgin Bloody Mary. That's what I want above all else. I think the thing that really kills it for me is the taste of alcohol. Ew, cilantro. Crimson Wolf. Cilantro is one of the most beautiful herbs to exist. Let's not talk any smack about cilantro, even if you may have the soap gene. If you have the soap gene, you gotta have the cope gene. That wasn't very good. That wasn't very funny. I apologize, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm getting my Tupperware into the dishwasher, guys, just getting rid of that, getting all of that done. That was cringe. Yes, Jack, I know that was cringe. And also, by the way, if you can't handle the taste of cilantro, you can do culantro. Culantro is a very nice Mexican herb, and it doesn't taste exactly the same as cilantro, but apparently people with the soap gene, they have no problem with that whatsoever. So guys, all that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take out my scallions now. My scallions have done the job in here. We don't want to over-extract them. We don't want them to fall apart. We don't want a bunch of like strands of the roots inside of this. They've contributed the delicious aromatic quality. And we'll also take out the ginger. They've both done their jobs. We got the extraction. We got everything that we've wanted from them and more. So I'm just giving it a stir just to make sure that I got all of them out. And we're continuing to just boil down Mr. Beef. Ugh. Okay, so that's just still going. And again, guys, I know that it still doesn't look that particularly exciting, but we will get there, my friends. We are going to get there, and it's going to be delicious, and it's also going to be glorious. Sin Mogu, welcome on in. How'd you find the cooking show? The beef is going. Guys, let's do a bit of a recap session. So we're doing a Korean beef stew. You can type in !menu to find out exactly what we're doing. We boiled the beef, we strained out the liquid, we added in some fresh water, and then we put in some scallion roots and some ginger as well. We're cooking this until it's tender, then we're adding in soy sauce, we're adding in onions, and we're adding in chilies. I took a picture with one of your friends at Shine. Well, happy to hear it. Then, we're also going to be doing some Korean braised potatoes. We sliced up, so let me show you actually. We sliced up a bunch of baby Yukon gold potatoes, and now we're just having them sit in some nice cool water until we're ready to use them. Then, guys, we'll be doing a lovely Korean cucumber salad called Muchim, and in fact, I believe now would be a pretty good time to go ahead and get that started. So let's just make sure that I have a nice suitable bowl. Am I Canadian? Not in the slightest, Crimson Wolf. I am from New York. Chef, what is your least favorite food? Jack, there is no such thing as a bad food in my opinion. I love all food as long as it's done well. What peppers are those? These are serranos. And the serranos are going to go both into the potatoes and into the beef stew as well. Guys, today might be a long stream. I think we at least have another hour of cooking. Am I available for weddings? Shockwave Mecca? Yeah, I can make something work for the right amount of money. Absolutely. Is Food Wars awful? Yes, Tarina. I think it's content slop. It's content slop for, well, I can't say that word on stream. For the people that like a lot of funny little animes. How about that? Okay, those are some great serranos. They are gut shot. They're typically darker green. Okay. Everybody, let me teach you some cucumber salad fundies. I'm going to need you all to tap in, my friends. I need you all to tap in. I need you all to pay attention right now. I'm going to teach you the most important thing. I need to hear a yes, chef. Everybody watching right now, I need your attention. We are going to be salting these cucumbers in advance. We're going to be letting them sit with the salt after we slice them. And the reason for this is because the humble cucumber, this bad boy, is filled with water. He is filled with water. You season him, eat it immediately, it's delicious. You put him into the fridge, you have a soggy salad full of excess cucumber liquid. We salt it in advance, and then we strain out the liquid. And by doing so, we get to mitigate all of that excess liquid from building up in the fridge, and we have a fridge-stable salad. This is how you stop having from soggy salads. So guys, we're gonna cut off the tops and the bottoms. Again, if you only have English cucumbers, make something else. I hate English cucumbers to death. I think they suck. We're going to be using my lovely, my incredible, beautiful Persian cucumbers. These are my favorite kind of cucumbers. And so guys, we're going to be going through it and we're going to be getting nice thin slices. So let me teach you something, guys. Do you see how this slice didn't end up being successful? That's because we had too much vertical force. By applying so much vertical force, it cleaves it. So all we're looking to do, guys, by slicing it with minimal vertical force, okay, we're sawing whatever you gotta get done with a nice sharp knife. Just pull your knife through, my friends. Nice thin slices, not so thin, not paper thin. We get perfect slices. You get this if you push down too much. Guys, watch this. Watch what, well, actually that seemed to be okay. Maybe that one didn't work out that well. Look what happened, look what happened. It cleaved out, my friends. So you have to slice, you have to slice it, you have to just pull your knife all the way through, and that's how you get perfect slices. If it gets really, really thin on one end, that tells you that you use too much vertical force, okay? If I put sugar on it, does it taste like watermelon? I have no idea. I know cucumbers and watermelon are somewhat related or something. I don't know. Something like that. And guys, we have 4 cucumbers. I wanna make a nice big batch of salad. Okay, this is the kind of a salad that I want to have in my fridge. I want to be eating this throughout the week. Okay, and so this is a really, really good fridge salad, and thus the salting in advance method I think is actually quite essential for something like this. So let's keep it going, my friends. We got a lot of cucumbers to do. If you have a mandolin, that would be pretty ideal in this case, I think. Just keep on slicing, my friends. Slice it. Don't chop it. And whenever your cutting board gets a little bit too crowded, we go ahead and we put it into a salad bowl for today. Just keep slicing and slice it and slice it and slice it and slice it all the way through until that last one's a little snack. Oh, I love cucumbers so much. We got 3 more cucumbers to go, guys. So let's go ahead and speed it up. And if anybody has any questions for me in the meantime, this would be a really good time to ask. Just going through all of it. Is there a reason to slice towards yourself? Yes, sitting ox. So let me show you something. If it's all about the taper of the knife and about surface area. Notice how this is going from thick to thin. By slicing it towards ourselves. Right, so let me show you like this. Look what's happening. We're actually getting it to not stick to the thickest part of the knife. Ideally, we would do it right at the point and it wouldn't stick at all, as opposed to doing it like this, where it's completely stuck to the side of the knife. So, sitting ox, amazing question, and I'm so happy that you asked. So you see, it just rolls off the knife, and at worst, it's just sticking to the tip of the knife. More people need to ask questions quite like sitting ox. You should feel proud of yourself. That was a very good observation that you made. How many times have I cut my thumb as a chef? Jack, Not a lot, actually. You'd be really, really surprised. I've almost never cut myself in any kitchen setting whatsoever. I'm very good about that. Just good technique and good form, and you'll always be safe and good to go. Honestly, with like a cheese grater. Let's get all my cucumbers into the salad bowl. 2 more cukes to go. 2 more cuckolds, if you will. I'm not sure I should have said that. Okay, great. Let's just keep on going, guys. The beef is continuing to gently boil. We're reducing all of that delicious, delicious beef stock. Okay? We're getting all that beef on the bottom. It's still not tender enough. It still needs at least, I want to say, at least another 30 minutes of cook time. Yeah, chef, I shouldn't have said that. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. My apologies. I'll never say that again. Just keep pulling, guys. Just keep pulling. Keep it slicing. Minimal force. Just trust the length of your knife. And by the way, guys, this is why you sometimes need long knives. Long knives lets you push less down, and it lets you pull more. That's why for like really, really big, like, you know, like sushi chefs, right? That's why they have super long knives, because it lets them pull a lot more gently with minimal force. But yeah, it's never with a knife, only like with like a cheese grater, right, John? I never cut myself with a knife, only like stuff like cheese graters. So just keep it going, guys. Oh, come on, buddy. Cheese graters, all of these other tools, those are the ones I'm really scared about. Mandolins, those are basically death machines. Mandolins are the ones that you guys really have to worry about. I burn my fingers more than cutting my fingers. Yeah, me too. I burned my hands so many different times, and it's great. My favorite thing to do, especially like today. I went out with my beautiful woman for a little lunch. We got these hot steamed dumplings. I picked it up with my hands. She wasn't able to eat it. I drank the boiling hot liquid inside, and she still had to wait. So guys, there's a lot of benefits to being a chef, to getting chef fingers and burnt fingers. The beauty of it is that you get to impress your loved ones. So, guys, cook more, you will naturally build up chef fingers and chef hands. All of these cucumbers, guys. We got a lot of cukes today. Look at how many cucumbers we're doing. And the point, again, guys, is I want a salad that will last in my dear fridge. Okay? And one last one. Ready, guys? Last cucumber. Oh, you see, I sliced it towards me, and it stuck to the center of my knife. Nice and thin, but not paper thin, because I don't want them to really dissolve or anything. Again, guys, this is a salad called Muchim. Muchim is a lovely banchan. It is a lovely Korean salad. I love cucumbers. It's a nice way to eat up a lot of cucumbers. Last cucumber, my friends. It's the final one. Should we use the honing blade in the opposite direction? Serena, I have no idea. Hope this helps. Sorry, I actually truthfully do not have an answer for you. Seems like a simple salad, but it's going to have some gochugaru. It's going to have some sesame. It's going to be delicious. Oh, Jack, I don't want to talk about my hot oil birds. I have quite a few, my friend. Okay, and now everybody, this is where cucumber salad fundies, your cucumber salad fundamentals come into play. This is going to be the most important stage, guys. The salting stage. You need too much salt. You need visibly too much salt. The salt is going to draw out the excess liquid, and any extra salt is going to disappear in said liquid. I want your cucumbers to seem slightly too salty at the stage. Guys, look at how much salt I'm adding. It needs to be slightly too salty. And now I go in there with my glove and I make sure that all of my cucumbers are properly and beautifully covered in the salt. The salt is going to draw out all of the moisture, so break them up, break up all these clicks, break up all of these little clusters, make sure that everybody is getting that salt treatment. Do not squeeze them. Can I please get a yes, chef, right now, please, and thank you. Do not squeeze them, just break them up, break them up, break them up. Don't give them too much pressure, guys. All you want to do is just rub them down with salt. Pick it up, lift it up, shake your bowl around as much as you need to. break up any of the clusters, break them up, keep the whole thing nicely and beautifully salted. And in time, it's going to fill up with all of the excess cucumber water, and we are going to get rid of it. You can already see, guys, the cucumbers, they're getting sweaty. They're nervous, but they're not ready yet, guys. They're going to get there, I promise. So, my cucumbers are now salted. I'm going to go ahead and set these bad boys behind me. Throughout this glove. Whew. Okay, let's go ahead and get a couple of chilies. Is there a knife you don't like? I mean, I have knife brands I don't like, but specific knife shapes, I feel like most knife shapes, I think tomato knives are stupid. Serrated, I think tomato knives are ridiculous, quite frankly. My beef is continuing to boil. We're making sure that everything is tucked in good night. If there's any beef that's floating up on the surface, it's not going to cook down properly. So we may need to add in some more liquid as we go, and that's totally okay. So, oh man, guys, at this time of the day, there's like sun shining right down on me. It's pretty annoying. We're gonna need to get some chili sliced up, guys. So some of the chili is gonna go for the potatoes because I want my potatoes to be spicy, and then some of the chilies will be used for the stew itself. For the stew itself, guys, I'm thinking 3 serranos. And for the potatoes, I'm thinking 2 serranos. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm going by vibes. I'm going by feel completely. Okay, and so guys, all I'm going to do is we're just going to get some nice big chunks of chili. And the reason why I'm looking for big chunks of chili is so that you can easily pick it out if you don't want to bite into it or anything. Okay, so this is how big I'm going to go here. I want it to contribute its flavor. I want you to get like a little bite of it if you would like, but I want it to be big enough that you can also easily pick it out. So in fact, I already tasted this serrano, guys. It's really spicy. I think I'm just going to do 2 for the beef. Seeds and all. 2 for the beef, and then also 2 for the potatoes. Just nice big chunks, guys. All that I'm really looking for it to do is to impart its heat and its spiciness. John, it really depends on the serrano. Some of them are as spicy as a jalapeno. Sometimes they're significantly more. Serranos can be incredibly inconsistent. So all of the serranos, nicely and beautifully prepped and ready to go. We're getting all of the mise en place done, guys. And then the rest of the chilies I'll put away for now. Guys, we have done so much prep work. There is just like a pile of dishes and a pile of plates and bowls behind me. We have so much that we still got to do. Okie dokie. We now have to go ahead and get some garlic done. So the really cool thing, this stew uses whole garlic cloves. So let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about this really quickly. The pungency of the humble garlic clove comes from when it is smashed before it is cooked. Okay, so let me say that again. The pungency of the garlic clove is created when you're smashing and cutting up the garlic. No, sitting ox, head of garlic is the whole thing. But this is going to use like 12 cloves of garlic. But however, it's not going to be particularly pungent. It's not going to be pungent because we're not going to be chopping it. We're not going to be slicing it. We're not going to be dicing it. We're going to be intentionally leaving the garlic cloves whole. They'll be instead contributing a real sweetness into the whole thing, but we're not going to be getting any of that like super strong garlicky pungency in my, in my beef today. So I have a head of garlic right here, and we're going to need some more as well. So let's go ahead, guys, and let's just get all of that nicely and beautifully processed and ready to go. Here we go. That's another head of garlic. And let's go ahead and begin to process them. We're not going to smash them today, because again, for my, for at least my beef, I'm looking for it to be really gentle, very delicate. So every single one of these guys, one by one, that's 2. And I'm roughly looking for 12 garlic cloves. That's 3. And that's 4. You love the stream so much, Cinemagu, I'm happy to provide. Okay, where is it? The super tiny ones, they're going to be so annoying to peel. Whatever, it'll be fine. And again, guys, the key, do not slice this garlic. Do not chop it. Do not crush it. Do not smash it. It will become too pungent. The goal of the garlic at this stage is to purely get it out of the skin. Okay, and we're just going to be peeling it using a paring knife for today. Okay, so all of these garlic cloves, guys, this is just for the beef. Well, Crimson Wolf, I'm happy to provide. Welcome to the cooking show. I am here to make quite literally the best cooking show on Twitch. Can I please get a yes, chef, if this is the best cooking show on Twitch? Sorry to make it a competition, but that's my fault. Yes, chef, perfect. That is my goal and that is my intention. I'm going to set out to do it, my friends. So let's go ahead and get each of my garlic butts just trimmed off, nice and whole like this. Some of them, they will peel off really, really easily. And the garlic butts, just the dried off root end. Okay, get each of one of these things going. And now, guys, once we get to this end, once it's like really, really intact, all you have to really do is just cut off the bottom. And it's really easy to peel a garlic clove from the bottom instead of from the top. You peel it from the top and it fragments into a bunch of layers. So just peel it from the bottom and it's a lot easier to get it to all come out. Normally, I would smash it to get the skin to peel off of the clove. But if we were to smash it now, we would end up creating a little bit too much of that pungency, my friends. So we can also just use a paring knife to just get in there and then just to really get a grip on it and then just to be able to peel it back. But it is a challenge, guys. Peeling garlic will always be a little teeny tiny bit difficult, and that's okay. Come on. Come on, buddy. Off you go. Please. I'm begging you. Ah, this one's being so annoying today. And you could do the Tupperware thing and shake it. You could smash it. I'm not going to do any of that stuff, guys, because, again, I'm trying to get these to be as intact as possible. Okay? This one is being incredibly stubborn today. Super, super annoying. But everything in the service of making good food, my friends. It's going to be so sweet when it cooks. It's not going to have any of that garlicky pungency. Again, it's all because of the fact that we are not crushing it, we're not smashing it, we're not chopping it. Ooh, this garlic clove is nasty. That one was rotten completely to death. Was it garlic skin in my hair? I think there was for a second. Man, that light, guys, that light is just shining down on me at the moment. It is incredibly distracting. Save me, please. Okay. Just trying to get this bad boy all peeled up and all ready to go. Guys, we have a lot of process to do today. I apologize for how long everything is taking today. Is everybody still paying attention? I want to hear a nice yes, chef. Please and thank you. My beef is cooking. My beef is boiling. It's looking beautiful at the moment. It's getting nice and tender now. Slowly but surely it's getting tender. We may need to sub in some additional liquid in just a little bit, just to make sure it's nice and submerged. Okay, so that's this many garlic cloves already done. Let's just keep it going. Let's keep it processing. The big ones, they peel up like nothing. The big ones, they peel so easily, guys. So really, try to get the big ones for this. How many pastry chefs? Okay, and there you go. 3.14, thank you, Jack. I appreciate it. Jack, come on. Jack, what's going on, buddy? Okay, and let's do this one as well. Ooh, yeah, guys, the little cloves, these are the ones that are super, super difficult to peel. Is 1 a.m. too late? Too late for what? You mean for you, Jack? Probably. I don't know what you got going on this week. Is everybody enjoying the show so far? Does anybody have any additional cooking questions for me in the meantime? Guys, we've gotten so much prep done. We've gotten so much time done. Or so much stuff done, excuse me. I know how much all of this is a process. How do I get rid of the garlic smell on my fingers? Oh, that's a good question. It's fine. Nobody cares. It's fine. Natalie, oh, Natalie's sleeping. Natalie, do you care that my hands smell like garlic? It's fine. It's fine. What knife do I use? Really good question. This is my paring knife. I forgot the exact one. Here's the brand and make right here. Corn and kimchi jjigae? No corn and kimchi jjigae for me, Dolingo. But that just also does sound delicious. It's not traditional, but I'm just sure it's fine. If you have corn and you want to get rid of it, then do it. You don't need my permission to do that. That just sounds good. Even if it's not authentic, I'm sure somebody would get upset at you for it. Right? Although Koreans do love their corn. Okay, guys, these are all of the garlic cloves that I'm going to need for the beef stew. And I'm just going to go ahead and get that into that plate. And now, my friends, let's go ahead and clean up my station. Clean it up, get it out of here. And let's go ahead and get some water into my pot once more. Actually, I have a glass right here that should do just fine. Again, guys, my beef is getting a little too exposed and it's still not fully cooked. So we need to add in some more liquid, get that back up to a boil, and let it continue to cook. We do not want the beef exposed because the exposed beef will no longer cook evenly. A lot of garlic, a lot of prep, a lot of slicing, and a lot of dicing, guys. This is gonna be the last thing that we have to do, which is we have to process up some more garlic. So let's go ahead and get a few more cloves. We need some for the salad. For the oi muchim, we're going to need about 2 cloves. And then for the potatoes, we need like as many as you could possibly decide. Okay, my friends. So now this process is going to get significantly easier. Because we are no longer under the pressure of keeping it whole. Let's do the ideal peeling method. Guys, take a bench scraper, don't use a knife, take a bench scraper and give it a smash. And take your next clove and give it a smash. And by doing this, we release the skin from the clove of the garlic. Because now we want that pungency, we want that flavor. Okay? We want that pungency, we want that flavor, we want it to happen now. And now, guys, now that we've done that, you can just go ahead and pop out each of the cloves from the skin from whence they came. I think I used that correctly. Am I professionally trained? Nope. I've just been cooking for a very long time. Cooking is my special interest. And so, I'm entirely self-taught. Okay, let's get each and every single one of these garlic cloves peeled, my friends. Just tap, tap, tap. That's my favorite way to get it off. Don't take that out of context, please and thank you. And let's get the garlic skin off now, once more. And there we go, guys. Beautiful. All of it has now been properly cut off. All of it has now been properly peeled. And now, my friends, it is time for us to crush it. I hate chopping garlic with a passion. I think chopping garlic is an absolute waste of time. It is sticky and it is uncomfortable. If you do not own one, invest in a garlic press ASAP. I need a yes chef, please and thank you. So my friends, all we do, we need about 2 to 3 garlic cloves for the oi muchim, for the cucumber salad. So there you go, that's 1. It still hasn't fully pushed through. Just be patient. And that's 2. And maybe a little bit more, and that's 3. There you go. And then this is just going to be enough for the salad. Because again, it's super pungent. It's just raw garlic, okay? That's not enough yes chefs. Let's try that one more time, everybody. I need a yes chef from everybody watching, please and thank you. That's a lot better. I think that's a little bit better. Okay? And let's get all the garlic in here. Okie dokie. We're doing a lot today, guys. This was a lot more labor intensive than I thought. We have so many ingredients to do. We have so much to prep, so much to do. But that's the way to do it. Let's get all of this garlic in here. And now I'm just going to go ahead and quickly rinse off my garlic press. Again, if you do not own one, everybody should own one. Guys, we have done it. We have done all of the prep, all of the chopping, and now we can do the potatoes and the rest of the stuff with the salad. Whew. I know, this was so much work, but we are not done quite yet, guys. We're not done cooking quite yet. So, let me just go ahead and show off everything that I've managed to prep in this amount of time. There is sunlight directly in my face, and it is driving me insane, but that's okay. We no longer need any of this stuff, guys. Everybody, please say thank you to Mr. Cutting Board. Please say thank you to Mr. Knife. They've done an excellent job for us today. And now, guys, because of the fact that we had that wet paper towel, we're now able to properly wipe down our station. Boop, just like that. Nice and easy. There you go. So, my friends, let's look at the spread that we have now. We have serranos for both the beef stew and for the potatoes. Garlic cloves for the beef stew. This is for the oi muchim, my cucumber salad, and this is for the potatoes. Next, we have chopped onions for the potatoes. We have sliced onions for the beef stew. We have cilantro for the salad. We have all of this, my friends, all of these scallions for just about everything. The cucumbers for the cucumber salad. Guys, I'm telling you, this is a massive, massive spread at the moment. We have the parsley and dill for the potatoes. I know it's not traditional, but we're breaking traditions today, my friends. We're breaking conventions. Sliced potatoes and my dill and parsley. We have done so much prep work. It is soon time for us to begin the frying of the potatoes. Is everybody excited? I want to hear another yes, chef, right now. Please and thank you. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. My beef is continuing to cook. We are going to be transferring this to a different burner because right now we're going to be focusing on the potatoes while my beef gets nice and tender. So I'm going to move this here. We actually did not need the boiling water at all. I'm going to go ahead and grab this and transfer this bad boy over here. Okay? Just continue to let that boil, continue to let that cook. And now I will be getting my lovely Dutch oven over a medium flame alongside, guys, some peanut oil. And it is time for us to fry the potatoes, which I'm really excited about. Can we get another Gordon Ramsay rant? But Jack, it's artificial because he didn't naturally come up. So, my friends, I'm going to be using a Dutch oven for this today because truthfully, this is the only vessel that I really have that can fit this amount of potatoes that I want to do. And we're going to need a generous, generous quantity of peanut oil. The goal is for the potatoes to properly fry the bottoms. Everybody, this is an enameled Dutch oven. This is not a raw cast iron Dutch oven. Also, Krobot, thank you so much for the sub. You cannot use metal tools on this. You cannot scratch it, and you cannot use a massive heat on it, and you cannot heat it up empty. Gentle, baby it, okay? And so I'm also going to go ahead and just take the beef and put it over here instead so that you guys can see it a little bit better, I think. And so guys, we're heating up all of that peanut oil, and if we have excess oil, we can always just go ahead and strain it out because the goal of the oil is to properly fry the potatoes. So I want to try something. Instead of straining the potatoes and patting them dry with a paper towel, I want to see how well do you guys think a salad spinner would do? Do you guys think a salad spinner would be successful in getting my potatoes dry? I think we've got a good shot. Oof. Guys, that sun is like directly in my face. Let me see if I can fix that. Hopefully that does it a little bit better. That was just shining like directly on me. That's a little bit better, but it's still a little bit annoying. Okay, so my friends, all that we're really looking to do is to slightly fry the potatoes. We're never gonna end up getting them crispy because this is a braised potato dish. It's a boiled potato dish at the end of the day, okay? So we're not looking to get them too crispy or anything, guys. All that we're really looking to do is just to fry them for a little bit of flavor, and then we'll be dumping in the sauce and a bunch of other delicious goodies for the flavor. And so, let's go ahead and try my new method to get potatoes dry using a salad spinner. I love salad spinners for all sorts of different leaves, but let's go ahead and give it a shot for this today. Oh, guys, I am dirtying so many different dishes. I left some cilantro in here, again, for the millionth time. Lovely, time to rinse this out. Natalie, look at the kitchen, this is a mess. I have so many dishes out right now. It's because I'm doing everything at once and I'm doing big batches of everything and, you know, measuring out and being such a good chef about it. I did not hear you if you said something. Yes, chef? That's right, thank you, Natalie. Okay. I got my salad spinner rinsed out. Alrighty, my friends. So here is what we're going to do. But you know what? I love salad spinners, guys. I love them. I love them, love them, love them. I use mine all of the time because of how many herbs I end up buying. Okay? So I think everybody should own a salad spinner as well. It works for me, thus it will also work for you. So guys, let's give this a shot. I'm curious to see how well of a job this actually ends up doing. I'm going to grab some potatoes. I'm going to put them onto the salad spinner. Okay. Let's put them all onto the salad spinner. I'm just going to do this in maybe 2 batches at a time because I don't think I'll be able to fry all the potatoes at once. So let's just do that many at the moment. And now, let me go ahead and take this and let's go ahead and spin it dry, my friends. And let's see. You know what? It's actually spinning the potatoes quite well. We're spinning a tail. We're going to get that oil nice and hot so we can properly fry up my potatoes. Okay, how much water did we end up just getting out of that with that little bit of rotation? Huh? That's a significant amount of liquid, my friends. And yes, I'm so tired of patting dry paper towels all the time. It is such a headache. It is so dumb and so cringe. So let's go ahead and give these now a proper, whoa, buddy. We're gonna have to hold it steady to make sure that it's not like, my whole table is like spinning right now. We gotta keep it steady and just keep it pushing like this. I think this is the technique. This is the method. It is spinning my whole table simultaneously, but how well of a job is it doing? Let's find out. This is the second spin. You know what, guys? Color me impressed. I think, guys, we got some nicely dried potatoes. I mean, they're still a little bit wet, of course, because it is still a potato at the end of the day. But that's just not bad. Okay, how is my peanut oil? My peanut oil is getting nice and hot. It is beginning to shimmer. So we'll get there in just a second. And let's just do one last spin, because again, guys, I want to make sure that we just get rid of any and all excess moisture. Let's give it a nice aggressive spin. Keep it going. My whole table is spinning, but that's okay. So much force, like a big old centrifuge. Okay? And that was the last pass through. So if it splashes, it splashes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what, guys? I would consider that a success. I think that was a significant amount of moisture that we ended up losing. And so, let's go ahead and get these into my nice, hot, shimmering peanut oil. Am I just going to go ahead and dump this directly inside? It's not dripping wet or anything. Yep. Let's just go in with all of my potatoes. They're immersed in the oil properly. And we're going to be doing the potatoes in 2 batches, guys. So let's flip them all over. Let's flip them over flesh side down. Yep, just all of them down like this. That might have been a lot of peanut oil, guys, but that's okay. Ooh, ow. That is hissing at me. Once that water does cook out, though, it's going to stop hissing. It just takes a little bit of time. And I just want to go ahead and get my potatoes nicely and properly crispy. We could season them, but I feel like a lot of the seasoning at this stage, it'll just end up falling out. And also, doing this in a Dutch oven, we do get to keep a lot of that excess oil on the inside. But we're just going to keep all the oil inside. Nothing really splashes out or anything. Right? Just all of it nicely and comfortably nestled within the pot. We're not going to be looking to get these guys dark brown or anything. The only goal, my friends, the only goal is to get them a little bit crispy. So I don't really care about seasoning them, right? Because, again, they'll have all the soy sauce. They'll have plenty of seasonings coming their way. And now it's just settling down a little bit, guys. And we're going to properly fry these potatoes. Those potatoes look good. I should do this more in a Dutch oven. Huh. Maybe shallow frying is based. Maybe it can work. I don't think I gave it enough credit. Okay. Something to consider for the future. And now, guys, of course, it stopped bubbling. There's significantly less moisture in there. Let's go ahead. I'm actually just going to go ahead and strain this over the sink really quickly. My next and my last batch of potatoes. Just get all of it out of the soaking water. And then we're going to go ahead and strain it off. What is the sous chef's favorite song? Wait, Jack, what are you asking me? Who is the sous chef in this case? Ooh, guys, those potatoes are frying up beautifully. They're looking really, really good. Aw, Jack, come on. Jack, that was a little bit brutal. Natalie, Jack keeps making puns in chat. You know, he said Dice Dice Baby for what is the sous chef's favorite song. Jack, what am I going to do with you, man? Okay, before we actually spin those dry, let's go ahead and inspect the potatoes, my friends. We're not looking for them to be, you know, like aggressively crispy or anything. We don't need them to be like super dark brown. We're just looking to get them a little bit cooked at this stage, and we're looking to get them just nice and delicious and flavorful, my friends. So they're looking still super, super blonde on the bottoms. So all we're doing is we're just checking the bottoms of some of them, because guess what, guys? Some of them might be getting a little darker than others. Okay, especially the ones that are exposed to more metal, right? because my stove is a little bit tilted. The ones that are on this edge, I'm just pushing them a little bit further away. I'm rotating them, and then we'll have to go ahead and give everything a nice little flip. I'm gonna be doing it like my Russian grandma style with like 2 wooden spoons. Okay guys, let's go ahead and spin dry the potatoes. We have so many moving components. Everything is gonna slow down soon, I promise. Everything is all gonna come together, and then you will see how delicious it all becomes. So thank you for staying with me through the chaos. I hope the stream hasn't been too chaotic or anything. We just have a lot of dishes, a lot of components, a lot of stuff happening. And then I also want to check on the beef soon. See how tender it is. Because it's kind of hard to overcook beef in a pot like this, but you can absolutely, certainly undercook it, where it's not tender at all to eat whatsoever. Okay guys, I am actually going to go ahead, we're babysitting these potatoes, okay? We're babysitting them because I can already tell you, the edges are turning really, really golden brown. So just a few minutes per side. Again, we're not looking to get them incredibly crispy. All we're really looking to do is cook out some of the moisture, just get some of that developed. Yep, that all looks pretty okay to me. You know what? Maybe a little bit longer. We can probably afford this a little bit more time, maybe a minute or 2 more. We're not looking to squelch the potatoes, guys, just a little bit crispy on the bottoms, okay? Just like that. Lovely. A couple more minutes, and then they'll be good to go, my friends. But some of them, I can already tell you, like this guy right here, he is begging to be flipped. This guy's begging to be flipped. This guy might be begging to be flipped. Let's see how he's doing. Let's flip him over. And guys, once again, if you'd like to support the show, you can always type in !Patreon if you'd like to help me do this full time one day. How do I make chicken nuggets? Jack, I wouldn't make chicken nuggets is my answer. Ooh, is that all of the residual moisture? I think it might be. Well, why is that potato so stuck? Interesting. Come on, buddy. Flip him over. Yeah, let's just flip him over. Give myself a little bit of peace of mind. A little bit crispy, guys, a little bit cooked. We're developing the flavor on the potatoes, and we're giving them a head start before they actually end up becoming braised potatoes. Woo! Buddy, let's not splash at me, okay? I am not your enemy here. The ones at the edges, the pan definitely doesn't heat up incredibly evenly or anything. So let's just get them all moved in, closer to the center. Every single one of them, they just got flipped over, one by one. There you go. Beautiful. And all of my potatoes are cooking, my friends. Okay, and we're going back to salad spinning the potatoes. This is the second batch. Guys, look at all of the water that we got out of them. Again, I think a salad spinner is definitely the way to go with something like this. It's a little bit unconventional, but I'm getting some more extra use out of it. We got so much happening. We have so much to juggle. Everything is going to get simpler soon, I promise. I promise even. Where did I put my phone? I need to check something. Aha. It's got a notification I had to check out. Please excuse me for a second. Okay, lovely. And let's go ahead and continue to dry off my potatoes. Long stream. It's already 7:10. I think this is going to go until 8 today, guys. I genuinely think we have that much more cooking that we need to do. Okay. And let's go ahead and strain out these potatoes again. All of that excess liquid, guys, I want it gone. And we didn't have to waste any paper towels. How good is that? Is everybody still watching? I want to hear a nice yes, chef. Please and thank you. Okay, my friends, these potatoes, this first batch, I want to say with confidence that I want to pull him off. So we're just going to be scooping up each of the potatoes one by one and putting it onto the plate. Again, I'm okay with getting some of the oil. We don't need to like strain it of its oil or anything. We don't have to do anything crazy. So just each of my potatoes one by one, I'm scooping him off. and then we'll do the next batch of potatoes. And all of the seasoning, it will come, my friends. It will come. It will be there. It will get there. Whoop. Hello. And we're keeping as much of the oil in the pan as possible because we still need it for that next batch. There you go. Lovely. Whoa, what is that? That should not be there. I don't know what that is. Let's get that out of here. I don't know what that was. Okay, does anybody have any cooking questions for me in the meantime? Was the kitchen policy with phones, wash hands after using it? That's my answer, Sitting Ox. In my home kitchen, I don't care. Even if it is actually quite unsanitary now that I think about it, I don't think I particularly care. If I'm cooking for somebody, of course, where that is a consideration, right, then I'll be washing my hands. As far as a restaurant kitchen policy, that is not my field of expertise, I'm afraid. Okay, guys, we got this oil. We still have it all in the pot, and this is where the next batch of potatoes is gonna go. We're gonna let it heat up for a second because we just, of course, took out a bunch of potatoes from there, and thus, the oil might have cooled down a little bit. I'm just getting my beef a little stirred, just mixing it around slightly. Getting it all tucked into the pot. We'll get back to the beef, guys, I promise. Getting my oil heated up again. Oh, is John Dahlia and Jack out of here? Alrighty, good night, guys. It was lovely to have both of you. Okay, my friends, let's go ahead and get the next and final batch of potatoes inside. You know, guys, I thought the frying potatoes would be a lot more of a hassle, but this is really, really doable. So I'm just flipping over each and every single one of these bad boys. I'm getting all of them inside. And all of that popping will stop as soon as all of the water is just evaporated and cooked out. And just flip them over, and flip them over. There you go. Oh, come on, buddy. In you go, please and thank you. Please flip. Thank you very much. Please flip. Please, I'm begging you guys. I gotta get you all flipped over. There you go. Lovely. And now, my guys, my friends, these are all gonna get nice and cooked. Whew. We can use a fork to pick them up, as long as it doesn't scratch the bottom of it. Duolingo. If I could go anywhere in the whole world to move to, probably Seattle. I love Seattle, or Vienna. Seattle or Vienna, something like that. Vienna is so outrageously beautiful. You have no idea. Okay, guys, all I'm doing is I'm just taking a second to clean up while we have a second. Is there an evolutionary reason for why the soap gene makes cilantro taste like soap? No idea, Gudwirda. Not in the slightest. I do not have a reason for you in this case. We just know that it exists, and not my field of expertise. And thus, I don't feel qualified to tell you. I can't really imagine there is one. Woof. Where did I get the shirt from? This is a Magi shirt. Right? Oh, well, you already know, Sinmoku. You already know. I have a lovely Dutch oven. Thank you, Underestimated Monkey. This was a gift from a little certain somebody. And so, I highly value it. Let's go ahead and just stir up the potatoes, because I just want to make sure that they're all cooking really, really evenly. Because the sides don't tend to cook particularly well, and some of the edges get a little too hot. So just stir them up, shift them, mix them around, combine them, and get these potatoes frying, my friends. Hi, Sugar Blue Dice. Welcome on in. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. I'm sorry that the Valorant ranked has been so difficult. Okay, let's go ahead and actually just measure out the last of the ingredients that we need for today. Guys, for the braised potatoes, we are going to be getting some soy sauce, and then also for, For the beef, we will need some soy sauce. We're gonna need a little bit of both. So let's go ahead and get that going. I have here, my friends, some light soy sauce and dark soy sauce. I don't have any Korean soy sauce, so I will just be combining the two of them just to get something in the middle. Okay? Oof, today's stream is a long one. I have chosen quite the task. And I'm just rotating my potatoes again, just making sure that everything is cooking evenly. Getting everything nice and beautifully submerged in all of that oil. There you go. Awesome. Chef, what don't you recommend cooking in a Dutch oven? I wouldn't recommend toasting things. I don't recommend toasting things because it's like dry heat and you don't have oily water. I just wouldn't recommend anything where you need like a super high heat, and I wouldn't recommend anything that you can't do without oily water. I hope that answers your question. Hi. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and measure out some soy sauce. Today's stream is a lot longer than I bargained for. Oh my goodness. Okay. So in total, for the beef itself, I'm going to roughly need half a cup. I'm not gonna measure it. I'm just using a measuring cup, and I'm just gonna do half of a measuring cup. I'm not gonna get a half cup measure. That's too much effort for something like this. And so my friends, we're gonna do equal parts, roughly, of light soy sauce and dark soy sauce until it basically looks like half a cup. Equal parts light soy sauce and dark soy sauce. And then for the potatoes, I don't even think I'm gonna measure it. And I don't know, man, something like that. And I think that should be perfect for today. Beautiful. That's gonna be for the beef. Lovely. And, ooh, we gotta check on the potatoes, guys. I don't want them to scorch. Let's not walk away from those bad boys for too long. Is the color of the soy sauce based on age? Yes, and then sometimes additional factors, but typically it is based on, of course, how long it was fermented, how concentrated it is, that sort of deal. So guys, all of my potatoes, they've gotten the color that I was looking for. We gave them a little bit of a head start on the cooking. All I'm going to do now is I'm just gonna flip each and every single one of them over using my 2 wooden spoons. Oh, hey, don't pop at me. Don't do it, buddy. I'm not the person you want to pop at. Cut it out. Relax. And there you go. All of my potatoes have now been successfully flipped. Don't pop at me. Do not hiss at me. I will get you. Thank you very much. My potatoes are going, guys. We'll take them out, and then we'll add in the onions. Okay, lovely. We're doing a lot. We're doing so much today. We're really doing the most. Thank you guys for being with me on this ride. Is everybody still watching? I want them once again. Hear another nice, resounding, beautiful yes, chef. Natalie?
Yes, chef.
Not loud enough.
Yes, chef.
One more time.
Yes, chef.
That's what all of you should sound like. Beautiful, perfect. My cucumbers are sitting there with the salt. When the potatoes get cooking, we'll transfer back on over to the beef. It's all gonna get there, my friends, I promise. We just gotta be patient for the ride. In the meantime, I do want to get a sample of the beef, and I want to see how well cooked is the beef at this stage. I'm looking for the beef to basically shred up nicely and easily, and not to have too much tension. And it's just boiled beef. At this stage, it is just plain old, simple, boiled beef. So, it's not a finished product, my friends. Thank you, Dosky. Thank you, everybody. Okay, the potatoes are frying up. Let's go ahead and just look at the beef really quickly. Right? So guys, take a look. Take a look. It just pulls apart. And that's what we're looking for. Super simple, super easy. It's got a good chew to it, so. That is exactly what I'm looking for out of the beef, my friends. It just is able to pull apart after all that cook time. Lovely. That is exactly what I needed. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw that back into the pot. And again, it's unseasoned. It is just plain old boiled beef, almost very Russian. Russians did love their boiled beef, which might sound a little bit odd, but they did. I grew up eating quite a bit of it. But I promise you guys, it's gonna get seasoned, it's gonna get spicy, it's gonna get so delicious. You just have to trust the process. Okie dokie. let's head back to the stove. My potatoes, I am now ready to go ahead and take out. They've cooked for me a sufficient time on that second side. So let's take them all out one by one, my friends. Every single one of the potatoes out and onto my plate. And then we'll be draining off some of the oil. We'll be frying the onions, frying the chili, adding it all back in together and letting it cook with a little bit of sugar too. Okie dokie. There you go. Every single one of the potatoes, guys, they all must go. They all must come out now. And then soon, we can begin the sauteing process. Soon. That was actually pretty good. Yeah, wow. I actually did not mind frying the potatoes like that. Okie dokie. Every single one of them, though, they all must come out at the stage. And again, we didn't season them with salt because, again, it was basically deep frying. If we seasoned it with salt, almost all of it would have just like slid off, right? And guys, we are now left with slightly too much peanut oil. We need to figure out a nice way of getting rid of some of that peanut oil. I think I'm just gonna use a paper towel. Typically, I hate this method. I'm using it today because I don't really think I have another way of doing so. I'm gonna be using metal tongs, but not touching the bottom of it, of course, right? I'm just gonna be using this just to be able to soak up. Don't deep fry my paper towel, please. That's not what I'm looking to do, guys. I just wanna be able to soak up all of this oil, and I realize I did not get a plate out for me to put it on. So before I set my paper towel on fire, I would really, really like to, before my paper towel gets crispy, I'm going to go ahead and take it out, covered in hot oil. So please be careful, everybody. Okay? Please. I don't want you to burn yourself. Okay? And now let's go ahead and check the level of oil that we have in here. I think we could probably use one more paper towel to soak it up. One more of these bad boys, guys. Let's go ahead and just, again, soak up all of that excess oil that we do not need because we do not want it to go all into the braised potatoes. Lovely. There you go. That looks good to me. Let's just flip it over. Let's get all of that oil out once again. Soak it all up, my friends, and get it out of here because we have no use for it. Okie dokie. And now it is time for us to saute the onions and the chilies, and then we will add in the potatoes, my friends. So all of my onions, they will now be properly added into the pan with all of the remaining oil inside. There you go. In they all go, my friends. And now we can begin the process of course, seasoning them. It's going to splash up a little bit, and then I promise you it's all going to just go away. All of the onions over a nice medium heat. It's going, it's cooking, it's doing its thing. And then we'll go ahead and season this up with a bunch of salt, guys. Ooh, today's one of the longest streams we've done in quite some time. Wow. Let's go ahead and hit them with a nice generous amount of salt. Guys, this dish is going to get a bunch of soy sauce. So again, we don't want to over salt it now. Just a little bit of salt to help facilitate the browning, to pull out the moisture, and then of course to season everything in layers. Okay? So let's just stir all of this onion up. We're going to get it nice and golden brown, right? Some of it gets a little bit too much color too fast. That's okay. Beautiful. Just like that. Does anybody have any cooking questions for me in the meantime? I know we're doing a lot, guys. I know we're being so busy today. We're doing so much. We're putting in so much love and compassion and effort into all of these potatoes. And it's going to turn out delicious. Beef is good. It's worth a longer stream. Well, Ben Zhukov, I'm happy to provide in that case. Okie dokie. So I just have to check something really quickly. Okay. Why was the potato watery salted? It's because potatoes are wet, Serena. You can't really escape a watery potato. It's kind of intrinsic to potatoes. But it was also sitting in a bowl of water, that is. It was sitting in a bowl of water so that it wouldn't oxidize. And guys, we're not looking for too much color on these onions or anything. We're not looking for a crazy amount, guys. We just want to go ahead and get all of that nicely and beautifully stirred up. And now I'm going to go in with my chilies. We don't need like deeply caramelized onions. We just want them something like slightly golden. Okay, so half of my serrano chilies going into the pot now. Again, big enough pieces that we can then easily pick out later. But they're still going to add a really nice, beautiful spiciness into the whole dish. There you go. Lovely. And these potatoes, guys, they're only going to take maybe about like 20 minutes in total to cook. So all of my chilies, all of my onions now, guys, it's looking really, really good at the moment. I think that's looking good. Can I please get a yes, chef, right now? Please and thank you. Make sure that all of you guys are still tapped in, locked in, all of you guys are still paying attention to this process. And all the onions, all the chilies, it's going to give it so much flavor, my friends. Every single one of you, yes, chef. Get some water in me. Get some fluid, get some hydration. Chef with one F, please. And we're continuing to just fry it all together, my friends. Just continue to fry it up, fry it up, fry it up. Just like this. There you go. Get those onions nice and slightly golden. Just the chilies infused into the oil itself. And now, guys, this is where we need to move fast. This is where we need to move fast. We add in the garlic now. We don't add the garlic in sooner, because if we added the garlic in sooner, it would end up scorching. We're looking just to quickly saute it, then we add in the potatoes, and then we add in our soy sauce. So garlic goes in, and break it up, and stir it fast and furious, my friends. Stir it up, break it up, and just keep it moving. The kitchen smells amazing. It smells like chilies. It smells like garlic right now. You cannot go wrong with something like this. Just keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. Keep it frying, keep it sauteing, keep it infusing into the oil. Okay? Don't stop, don't stop. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And then, my friends, let's add in the potatoes and just mix them with the onions and with all the chilies and the garlic as well. Get all of it nicely and beautifully incorporated. There you go. Get all of it mixed up together. And now, my friends, to properly deglaze this pan, we will now be hitting it with a generous hit of soy sauce. That's the light soy sauce going in now. And then also a splash of dark soy sauce. And then we'll also be doing a pinch of sugar. So a splash of dark soy sauce, a little bit of light soy sauce. Let's mix it all together. Get all of my potatoes nicely covered in all of that sauce that we've taken so much time in preparing. And my friends, you do not want a high heat for the stage. You don't want the high heat. If your heat is too high, you're going to end up scorching the soy sauce. You're going to end up scorching everything. The goal is for the potatoes to cook in this liquid. So we've added in all that sauce. And now, guys, the final step is a little bit of sugar to taste. I'm just going to do a couple of spoons. There you go. That's just 1 and 1.5. And that should be perfect for me. It's going to add a really, really nice sweetness into the whole dish. And now, my friends, with the onions and with the garlic and the chilies and the soy sauce, we're going to lay out our potatoes nice and flat. We're going to put a lid on it, and we are just going to let this cook with the lid on a low heat for about 20 minutes or so. 15 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on how thick your potatoes are. They may take less time, they may take more time. It all depends. Can I please get a yes, chef? Please, and thank you from everybody watching. Absolutely nobody missing out. Natalie? Yes, yeah. Thank you, Natalie. Perfect. So, again, I still have the heat on. I'm just going to come back to it in a second, guys. I promise I didn't forget about the potatoes. But first, actually, you know what? I think I might want to add my scallions later once these have cooked down at least a teeny tiny bit. So let's go ahead and get all my potatoes exactly where I want them. Just like that. And let's cover them. And then I'm going to be switching the burner that they're sitting on. So we're going to be taking them off of this onto this one instead. Okay? And we'll just be giving it the old switcheroo. Medium-low heat, guys, and just let them slowly cook and let them slowly come up to temperature. And in the meantime, guys, let's come back to Mr. Beef. He's all ready to go for us. It is time for us to begin the final cooking stage of the beef, everybody. Are you all ready for this? Garlic into the pot. Chilies into the pot. Really similar to the potatoes, but they'll be a little bit different. Garlic and chilies, can't go wrong, my friends. You cannot go wrong. And then what else did we want to put in? Well, first, let's go ahead and mix all of this stuff together. We also have to add the onions and the soy sauce. That's right. We have our entire sliced up onion. And then we also have all of our incredible soy sauce, guys. The dark soy sauce and the light soy sauce all mixed together. All of it added in. And now this has to all cook together. And we're going to be reducing the sauce until it's nice and delicious. With a teeny little splash of sugar, guys, just for a little bit of, just for like a little bit of balance, right? I feel like Korean cooking does genuinely benefit from that addition of sweetness. You can use honey. Honey would be probably a little bit better, okay? So let's add it in. 1 spoon, maybe 2 spoons, just like that. Add it in, mix it around, get all of the beef in there, my friends, with the chilies, with the garlic cloves, and with the onions. And this is my braised beef, and now my onions just need to soften. All of it just needs to boil down, and it's all gonna be delicious. Is everybody excited for this dish? I wanna hear a nice yes, chef, please, and thank you. A really, really simple, really delicious beef stew, my friends. And I can probably lower the heat on the potatoes. And we're just letting the potatoes steam, my friends. We're letting them steam inside of that pot. I'm just going to go ahead and open it to make sure, again, nothing is sticking, nothing is squelching. My heat isn't too high. I'm mixing the potatoes through. And then I'm putting the lid back on, and we're letting it all steam together. There you go. We have done so much, guys. We have done so much work. So much effort for these dishes, but I'm really excited for all of them to turn out. We're in the final cooking stage. We just have to cook the onions and the garlic, and we have to reduce the soy sauce down now. It's all going to turn out incredible. Okay, that looks good. How much did this meal cost? Well, Sinmogu, I have no idea. Maybe in total, $35 worth of ingredients, but this is going to make a lot of portions. I don't know if you can tell, this is a lot of food that we're preparing today. In fact, I think I would argue I might have made too much food. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to get through this in the next few days, but we will. We'll figure it out. Let's have a little sip of water. This is all going, my friends. Look at the beef with all of that soy sauce looking delicious. At the moment, just making sure that all of my onions are nice and submerged. Okay, because I want all of them to cook up evenly. And it's all in that delicious beef broth too. There you go. This is a lot. And we're still not done yet because we still have to cook it all, of course. We still have to make the salad for today, right? The salad is still gonna come. I'm just stirring up my potatoes and making sure everything is evenly cooking in my Dutch oven, making sure nothing is scorching. Low heat is the key, my friends. A nice, gentle low heat. Okie dokie. Everybody, are you ready to finish the salad? It is time for another Yes Chef from everybody watching. Okay. Let's go ahead and inspect the cucumbers. Let's see how my cucumbers are doing. My my cucumbers have been sitting with all of that salt. Guys, look at how much liquid we got out of this. Look at all of that fluid. Look at all of that liquid. That was because we salted the cucumbers in advance. We salted them in advance, and now we'll be able to get a nice delicious salad out of it. So my friends, let's go ahead and just strain out all of that liquid. I'll just be straining it out into my waste bowl, grabbing a glove, and look at the sheer amount of liquid that comes out of the cucumbers. This would have made your salad soggy. It would have made your salad wet. It would have made it inedibly wet. If you made the salad, you put so much effort into it, and then it would have gotten bland as it sat in the fridge. And all of this water, you might think it has cucumber flavor, but in reality, it just has the excess salt that we want nothing to do with whatsoever, guys. So we're continuing to take it, and we're continuing to strain it out. We're straining out all the liquid. Look at the amount of liquid. Look at the quantity. Do you all see this? Do you all see how much liquid we have saved from this cucumber salad? It's a lot. It is a substantial amount. Bless you, Natalie. Look at it. All of that salty cucumber liquid, and we have absolutely no use for it whatsoever. Everybody, it is time for us now to finish the salad. The cucumbers, perfectly salted, perfectly seasoned. They're still salted, but they're not over salted anymore. They would have been over-salted if we left them as is. Just mixing up my beef with the onions and the garlic and the soy sauce, and soon we'll taste it, and we'll taste it for seasoning. Okay. I told you guys, you just have to trust the process. And all of this stuff, even if it's all boiled, it'll all come together. Did we all trust the process, everybody? Are we all confident in this? Because I am. So now, my friends, let us finish the salad. First, my chopped garlic, my minced garlic rather, for my muchim goes directly inside. Then, all of my sliced scallions, my green sliced scallions, right here, all of that goes inside too. Okay, the rest of the scallions we still need. My sliced up cilantro goes inside. Next, sesame oil. I repeat, do not use too much sesame oil. It will make it taste like wood. You need a little bit, and a little bit goes a long way. So those 2 little drizzles of sesame oil, more than enough. Then, we're going to need a splash of vinegar for the acidity, guys, because you gotta have a cucumber salad with some vinegar. Make it nice and delicious. And then, we're going to go in with a gentle dusting of sesame seeds. And last but not least, everybody, so gentle dusting of sesame seeds, that should be perfect. Last but not least, let's do some gochugaru. And I am going to do about a tablespoon or so. This, my friends, is the Korean red pepper flake. It is delicious, it is wonderful, and it is the basis of so much incredible Korean food. So let's do 1, and let's do 2, depending on how much heat you actually want. Is it spicy? It is spicy, but it's mostly fruity flavored. So guys, let's go in there and let's mix it all around. Mix up the garlic, mix up the scallions. And I don't want any soy sauce in this because my other things have a lot of soy sauce. And so this is just gonna be like sesame oil and garlicky for me, okay? Guys, look at the salad. Look at my beautiful muchim. And I can already tell you, I think I want some more gochugaru in this. So just break it up, don't squish it. Everybody, I need a yes chef right now. Do not squish it, do not crush it, do not destroy your cucumbers. Do not squeeze them into death. So we're gonna taste the salad. We're gonna taste it for the seasoning. Just scoop it from the bottom, guys. Scoop it, scoop it, scoop it. Break up all the layers. Use your fingertips like a claw. Definitely, we need some more gochugaru, guys. 1 more big spoonful, and maybe a little bit more. There you go. And mix it all back in. I'm looking for that heat. I'm looking for that spice, my friends. And it's all gonna infuse. Guys, cucumbers, they take on marinades, they take on flavors as they sit in the fridge. This is an optimal fridge salad. Look at my beautiful muchim, everybody. Bask in its glory. Nat, that's a good looking cucumber salad, isn't it? I forgot, do you not like cucumbers? Do you like cucumbers? Yeah? I thought you didn't. Now look at my cucumber salad. Beautiful. All of the gochugaru in there, all of the cilantro. Lovely. I don't think I got enough yes chefs, by the way, last time. Can we do that one more time, please? That's right. That's good. That's perfect. Okay. That is a delicious, perfectly seasoned salad. I'm gonna go in here and stir my potatoes. Ooh. Guys, I'm excited to show you my potatoes. Above all else, those look wonderful at the moment. These guys look really, really special. I'm just gonna have it continuing to steam, have it continue to cook. Lovely. And let's take a look at Mr. Beef. We're so close to the finish line, everybody. We have done so much. We've put in so much work. We've put in so much effort. The onions and the beef are now nice and soft. The garlic is nice and soft. The chilies are nice and soft. We're going to soon taste the beef seasoning, see how that came out. And in the meantime, we're going to just clean up a couple of things. That's not enough yes chefs. Where's everybody else? Are you guys asleep? Did everybody leave me? It's fine. Today was a long day. I understand if people felt the need to leave. And I'll get rid of my gochugaru. I'll get rid of my soy sauces. I might keep the sesame oil for the potatoes, actually. Get rid of this bowl. Throw that into the dishwasher while we have a second of time, my friends. Because remember, when you're cooking at home, you have to clean as you go. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're throwing some stuff into the dishwasher, getting all of that done, while we just have a second of downtime, while we have a second to breathe and to chill out. I'm also gonna be throwing in my scallions into my potatoes while we have this second. And I'm gonna be testing how done my potatoes are. Oh guys, I am excited to show all of you the potatoes. The potatoes, that's gonna be the real star of the show for today. Okay, I'm gonna take one out and then we're gonna see how done they actually are. They still could be quite a bit undercooked at this stage. Okay, does anybody have any more cooking questions for me while we're still going, while we're still doing all of this? Oof, the beef looks great. Lovely. So, everybody, I want my potatoes to be nice and fork tender, but I'm not looking for them to be falling apart, and I'm not really looking for crunchy potatoes, guys. So, let's go ahead and have a little taste of these bad boys. You ready? So let's see. Okay, nice and fork tender. Oh my God. Ooh. Dude, that's a good potato. Wait, that's delicious. Wait a second. Hold on. I've never made this dish before. That is a wonderful tasting potato. Okay, lovely. And let's go ahead and have a little test run of the beef. Guys, are you excited to see how the beef has come out? Let's go ahead and grab a little bit and put in a little bowl. Let's see how all of it tastes together now. And I'm gonna grab it with some of the onion and some of the garlic. Oof, guys, that potato, that was yummy. That was perfect. And I'll try some of the beef. And again, the beef, I'm looking for it to be nice and fork tender. That is good. It is boiling hot though. Is my garlic fully cooked then? And there's none of the pungency. Everybody, I think we're done cooking. I think we're done. it's time for us to actually just finish the potatoes with all of the fresh herbs. Are you all excited? You already know what to say. You already know what I need from you. That was delicious. The beef for sure is done. Oh, I should have still made some rice, but not today. I have too many dishes going on to make rice today. Guys, the beef is done. And now let me show you my gorgeous, my beautiful, my delectable potatoes. Let's go ahead and take them out. Let's open up my lovely Dutch oven. Open up the lid. These are my incredible potatoes, guys. With the scallions now, with everything inside of them. The fried and then braised Yukon Gold potatoes. And now, guys, the final step, remember, we're going to be finishing it with all of my herbs. All of my dill, all of my parsley, all of it inside in an egregious amount too, with a little bit of sesame oil, and then a nice dusting, a nice proper healthy dusting of sesame seeds, guys. Let's get that inside. And let's go ahead and mix it all together. Let's mix up the potatoes with the herbs. There we go. And again, the herbs, not traditional in the slightest, but I thought that they would make an excellent accompaniment for today. Guys, look at those potatoes. Look at those potatoes. Gorgeous, I think, truly. Just mixing them up, getting them all inside. Beautiful. There you go. That's it. That is my braised potatoes. Everybody, do you believe it is time to plate? I want to hear a yes, chef. If you believe that it is time for us to plate, please and thank you. Because we are now in the final stages. We have done everything ourselves, and I'm really excited to show this to all of you. So I'm gonna do this all in like serving bowls. I really like all in different little bowls. Okay, my friends. So I'm gonna show you each and every single one of my components. So first, I have here a bowl of some of my lovely muchim. Oop, I got some stuff on my table here. I'll talk about it later. Let's go ahead and get some of the sliced cucumbers, some of my lovely muchim, right into this bowl. That's one. And then let's go ahead and get some of my potatoes scooped out and into the next one. Actually, I don't know how to scoop potatoes like this. Maybe something like that. Yeah, that'll be just fine. Want a nice big, heaping, beautiful spread of potatoes, guys. Look at my potatoes. Look at those potatoes. Steaming, hot, delicious, gorgeous. Just like you. Okay, and now, as for the beef, the final component, my friends, let's go ahead and get that bad boy into another little bowl. And I'm just gonna scoop it up with the garlic and with the onions and all that beef, all of it together, salty and sweet and rich and delicious. So 1 second, everybody, it's all gonna get plated up, and then you will see and bask in all of its glory. Oh, that does look really, really good. And let me pour some of that sauce in there as well. Everybody, this is it. We are now done. Let's walk through and talk about everything that we've made. Guys, if you'd like to see what we made, you can also type in !" menu, and that will pull up a list and a description of everything and anything. Whew, my friends, we have here 3 beautiful dishes. First and foremost, the meat dish of today. We have Jangjorim. This is a Korean beef stew. We started with 1.5 pounds of beautiful lean beef, brought it to a boil, skimmed it of its scum, drained off the liquid. poured it in fresh liquid, we added in a little bit of ginger, we added in scallion bottoms, and we cooked it nice and low and slow until the beef got beautifully tender. We added garlic, we added onions, and last but not least, let us not forget the scallion garnished. A bunch of soy sauce, a bunch of chilies for the spice, guys. And you can't have Korean food without scallions, my friends. Next, this is my potato dish. This, my friends, what's it called again? Gamja Jorim? This is Gamja Jorim, my friends. Yukon gold potatoes that we first fried in a little bit of oil. We fried onions, we fried garlic, we fried chilies. We added the potatoes, we added soy sauce, we added sesame oil, sesame seeds, and a little bit of sugar just to balance all of it out. It got nice and soft and delicious. And then to lighten everything up, my friends, we have some muchim, salted cucumbers, garlic, gochugaru, sesame seeds, sesame oil, plenty of fresh cilantro. And this is my cucumber salad. And all of these three, my friends, they exist together in harmony. I'm going to try to get a thumbnail shot out of this if possible. I don't know if it'll be entirely possible, but we'll see. We will see. I don't know. Something like this. I don't know how to frame it. I don't know, guys. We'll figure it out. Yeah, something like this, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know if it's good enough. We might just use something else for another VOD. I think that looks pretty good, Natalie. Look at all this food. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, everybody. I am just going to go ahead and give everything a little teeny tiny taste, and then I will be on my way and enjoy my dinner. So first, let's start with the muchim. Really basic, delicious cucumber salad. Got you on my head. A little spicy, a little acidic. You got that sesame flavor. It's delicious, and this is the ideal fridge salad. Let's go ahead and try one of my lovely braised potatoes. It's probably so hot. I'm gonna burn myself. That's okay. Beautiful. When the starch of the potatoes comes out, it just naturally thickens the sauce and just sticks to it. It's got a little bit of heat. It's got the fresh scallions in there, my friends. The snap of the skin. So delicious. Beautiful. And then finally, my friends, my stewed beef. Simple and easy, and above all else, delicious. My Jangjorim. Let's have a little taste. Nice and tender and flavorful. That is beautiful. And look at the garlic cloves. You can just eat a garlic clove as is. None of the pungency, all of the sweetness. Because of the fact that we cooked it whole, we didn't chop it. That is a beautiful beef stew. My friends, that is going to be it for today. This was a very long stream. It's almost 8 o'clock. Wow. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all so much, guys. I'm so happy to have all of you. Thank you all for being with me. The next stream is going to be this Sunday, 5 p.m. EDT, as always, every Wednesday, every Friday, every single Sunday. Thank you all for being here. Guys, if you would like to please check out my Patreon, you can type in !Patreon if you'd like to support what we do here. I would love to be able to continue teaching people how to cook. I would love to be able to do it full time at some point. I would like to keep this free to watch, and for those of you that have the available money and funds to do so, any and all support there is really appreciated. Patreon, you can then it just directly goes into my pocket. So guys, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here along the ride, even if it was super chaotic today. Hope you all have a good night. Have a safe Friday night. Be safe. Have fun. I don't know. And just have a really good night, guys. Bye-bye, everybody. I will see you all this Sunday. See you soon.